How to make a bitch come, how to make a a lot of money. I ain't talking about toys. If you think I'm telling lies, go on ask about me. In the 10th grade, I had cars parked down the street, and you wearing a school sweater. I'm wearing a black meat, and you got on Chinese shoes. I got gators on my feet. Now, now ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar. Pop, they popping my collar. Ever since I can remember, I've been working these hoes, and they better put my money in my hand. Well, I'm the last Mr. Big, and they call me Diamond Eye. I can take my shades off, and I can blind the whole sky. Niggas shot me in my head, but I still didn't die. When I woke up out my coma, told my mama, don't cry. Mr. Big got crawled, that's a goddamn lie. I just put a bunch of diamonds in my goddamn eye, and I'm still so fresh, and I'm still so fly. I'ma keep talking shit till the day I die. Ever since I can remember, I've been showing my ass. Little girls liking me, bringing me their cash. A dime and a nickel, some chips and a chipper. Girl, I was a pimp when I had a bicycle. Now ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar. Pop, they popping my collar. Ever since I can remember, I've been working these.
I was at the gym. I make no excuses. I was at the gym. And so should you. I was at the gym. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I was at the gym. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for a thumbnail, but we're here. Once again, today's is strictly TV, film, music. TV, film, music. I don't even care about Trump and Iran. Iran. I don't even care at this point. Just TV, film, music. Just TV, film, music. Where do I want to go? Where do I go first? Hi. Happy, what's today? Happy Tuesday? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hey, let's check out the trailer for Blood and Children of Blood and Bone. It's gonna flop hard, man. I'm sorry. They spent a lot of money in this movie. They're not gonna get their money back on this movie. Okay, hold up. Let me see. What is this? What's going on here? Okay, let's do this. Okay, what is this? Can I cut this out? Okay. Let's go check out the trailer for The Children of Blood and Bone, a movie that the majority of you guys will not go see. It looks good. It's an early trailer, so they still got to work on the VFX. This is what I don't know. I'll let you guys. It's not about what I think at this point. It's not about what I think. Let's go here. It's not about what I think. What say you guys? All right, let's go. She got you all in your feelings. Big energy.
My daughter, you must not be afraid. Orisha was once a land where magic flowed through our people. You were born with a gift greater than you know. But those who feared our power took it away from us. I know you miss her. Your powers may be gone, but that does not change who you are.
Magic is a festering disease. Purge it!
Yes, can we please stop putting Beyonce music in trailers? Please stop using Beyonce's music in trailers. Just learn from Black Panther. Put some African-inspired music into these trailers. Please, no more Beyonce Lemonade Formation. You're killing the vibe. You're killing the vibe.
Heed my words. You are the future king.
What if that is not the kind of king I want to be?
For years, I have trained you. Because I believe you are the one.
You know why this is going to flop? Same reason Woman King. No, Woman King was profitable. I take that back. This movie's going to flop because they spent too much money on this. Way too much money. Hold up. Let me do something real quick. Let me check my internet because my internet's kind of splotchy. Hold up. I'm going to come back to it. Let me check something. Yeah, this movie's going to fail big time. They spent too much money on it, man. This will not be a Sinners moment. Spent way too much money on this movie, man. And my internet is on strike. But nonetheless, we're here. Let's go. Let's get back to it.
You can bring magic back.
Hold up, wait. Look around, everybody on mute. Hold up, wait. Look around, it's me and my crew. Big energy, big energy. All this good energy got you all in your feelings. Big energy, big energy. Big energy, big energy. Hold up.
Stat cast, man. You can't complain.
All this good energy got you all in your feelings. Big energy.
She has the ability to annihilate us all.
Big energy.
You got Valerians. You got Valerians.
Big energy.
No mercy! You must strike!
All these years, we believed the gods abandoned us.
Oh, my child. They were waiting for you.
Alright, here you go. You got original Black IP. The white man spent $200 million on this movie, and it's going to fail fantastically. It's going to fail. 200 million. This movie has to make between 425 and 450 to break even. It's not going to do that. It is not going to do that, sadly to say. And I want this thing to win. Okay? I want this thing to win, but it's not going to do well. Not going to do well. Let's go here real quick. I want to be petty for about 2 minutes. Okay? I want to be petty for 2 minutes. Okay? Let me see. Where is it at? Let me see. Hold on. Okay, let me go here real quick. All right, this is Will Motivation. I don't watch him. He pops up in my algorithm from time to time, but he said something today that's been in tune with what I've been saying about some of y'all's kids. Let's go here. Let's go here. A lot of you parents are lying to yourselves when it comes to your children. Let's go.
A lot of things can be more important than having that Lamborghini, even if you have one. For example, if you are going through some things right now in your life, you need to understand that you're not alone. I don't want this to be like a negative video. I want this to be a sharing the experience video of Lamborghini ownership. Like, I show you guys when I'm buying the cars. I show you guys what the monthly payment is, and I'm also going to show you guys what's the real deal of being a Lamborghini owner. Is not that everything is sweet. Like, everything is not peaches and cream. Like, in my personal life, I'm not going to get into like details of the things that I deal with, but some of you guys know my son is autistic, for one.
Okay. His son's autistic. Some of you people, some parents, y'all come online and make your videos. Autistic, my kid. I hear you. But the reality is this. Come on.
I would easily give up all my Lamborghini, all my cars and stuff if I had a solution that would cure my son of autism and he could talk and live a better life than I ever would.
Okay. This man said he would give up all of his Lamborghinis for his kid to no longer be autistic. Now, some of you guys are gonna say, well, Sly, that's how he feels. That's pretty much the majority of you parents with autistic kids, and I mean severely autistic. Okay, please don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. You can lie to me all day, but you can't lie to yourself, man. This man said he would give up all of his worldly trinkets if his kid no longer had to be autistic. That says a lot. Okay, I just wanted to raise the awareness. A lot of these parents out here faking the funk and really suffering behind the scenes and really hoping and wishing and praying, that their child could be different.
I would give up everything if I knew I could make that happen, right? If there was like a miracle pill or something like that, I would do it. So that's one example.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. And then I believe, is it South Korea has found a way to remove the Down syndrome gene. Okay, I believe it's South Korea. Let's go here. South Korea. And you had some people saying, I wouldn't do that. My brother's has Downs and he's the best thing. Oh, it's Japan. I believe it's Japan. Okay. Japan. Oh boy. What a time to be alive. You mean to tell me you want your kids to be down? You purposely want them to have Down syndrome? You people are lying to yourselves. People are lying. Yeah, thank God for CRISPR. Yeah, now you can get create your little super soldier. Okay, I don't know what this music. Not right now.
Remove the extra chromosome that causes Down syndrome? In a proof-of-concept experiment, researchers led by Dr. Ryotaro Hashizume did something that once sounded impossible. They designed an allele-specific CRISPR-Cas9 system that could find and cut only the third copy of chromosome 21 in cells with trisomy 21. Instead of editing individual genes, they targeted the root cause, the extra chromosome. The system was precise enough to leave the two normal copies untouched. In roughly a
Uh-oh.
third of treated cells, it worked. The extra chromosome was completely removed and gene activity returned to typical patterns. Cellular functions started behaving normally, almost like the cells had been reset. Scientists call this chromosomal rescue. Now, for the reality check. This has only been done in a lab dish. Removing an entire chromosome inside a living person would be extremely complex, so clinical use is a long way off. But this changes the conversation. It shows that trisomy 21 can be corrected at its source, not just managed. In the future, researchers hope this could lead to therapies that target specific tissues, potentially softening the effects of Down syndrome before they fully develop. It's a glimpse of a future where genetic conditions might not just be treated, but rewritten at their foundation.
Oh man, my internet is acting up, y'all. Okay. You actually had people in the comments upset at the thought of removing this. And you had people like really like, I wouldn't change. I have a Down's brother or son, and they're the best, most loving person. The dumbest excuses I've ever heard. The dumbest excuses. Like, who the fuck wants a Down? And you can't fix it? Really? Like, you really? Wow. I wanted to find the original post because you really had people upset in the comments. Like, I wouldn't change anything. He's perfect the way they are. It's like, okay. Y'all enjoy your little Down syndrome kid, nephew, brother, sister, cousin. And some of y'all may have these people in y'all, and there's no diss to you, but you know good and goddamn well if your folks could fix it at the source, you would remove that gene. I don't. Why people, insist on lying to themselves is beyond me. So, allele-specific multiple chromosome cleavage. Scientists successfully identified and cut away the extra chromosome 21. Okay. Once the extra chromosome removed, the cells return to near normal function. Researchers noted faster cell growth, reduced stress markers, and reactivated brain development genes in the lab test. Okay. As of right now, it's been performed outside the human body in vitro. For me, there's no discussion to be had. You got people already having designer babies anyway. So what's the difference? Designer babies. So you already got this. So what's removing a genetic defect? What's the problem? I'm not understanding. If you're already changing the height, the eye color, the hair texture, what's the difference? Why would you not want to remove a genetic defect? Okay. Let's see. Found that current embryo selections based on height or IQ have only modest benefits. For height, increase of 2 to 3 centimeters. For an IQ, an additional 2 to 3 points above average. Okay. So in the past 5 years, selecting embryos for particular traits has become easier and cheaper. While this technique is a tremendous help to parents with serious genetic diseases, it is still a highly controversial procedure when it's used for non-life-threatening reasons where ethical questions of eugenics and unequal opportunities arise. I would suggest you go rewatch Gattaca, right? So what would happen if we took 10 embryos from one pair of parents, rated each embryo for height or IQ, and implanted embryos with the highest score? They ran computer simulations using gene sequences from real people to create profiles of hypothetical embryos that would result from the pairings of those. They predicted the adult height or IQ for each of the embryos based on the gene variants present in the genomes. What they found: for height, the gain was 3 centimeters above the average or in the batch, and for IQ, the gain was 3 points. With 5 embryos to choose from, the gain was 2.5 centimeters and 2.5 IQ points. I mean, this can make or break a lot of people. I'm just saying. So when the team widened the scope to see what would happen if they could choose from a batch of 50 embryos, the highest gain was 4.5 centimeters for height and 4.5 point IQ points. Okay. So let's go here. They looked at the genetics of 28 families with 10 or more adult-aged children based on the genomic makeup of each child. They selected those with the top score for height. However, in 75% of the families, the child that the scientists had selected was not the tallest sibling, even though their genomic data had predicted that they would be. You already do it now when you mate with somebody. You look at them physically. That's part of your reasoning why you mate with them. Oh, he seems like he's pretty intelligent. Oh, he's tall. Oh, she's nice. Like, that's part of y'all's mating processes is to get the best traits out of the person. You do it naturally. You do it naturally. Well, most of you do it naturally. Okay. I mean, to be fair. Yes? No? All right. Hopefully my internet speed is back up to is back where it needs to be. Hold on, y'all. Let me do something real quick. Okay. All right. I think we should be good to go, hopefully. Fingers crossed. All right. Okay, let's go here. Okay. There's a tour coming up with Ludacris, T.I., Rick Ross, Big X The Plug in Louisville on October 24th. This is a wrong date. It's October 24th. So let me see. Ludacris, T.I. concert. Ludacris, T.I. Big X The Plug concert. Okay, October 24th, 2026. So this is Ludacris, T.I., and Big X The Plug with Rick Ross. Okay? Let's see what the tickets look like. Because I believe what they're asking for is I don't know, y'all. I don't know. What they're asking for, I don't know. Let me find the one for October. Okay, this is the one we're looking at right here. Ludacris for T.I., Big X The Plug, and Rick Ross. This is the one. Okay. Let's see how many tickets have been sold. I'm not paying $161 for this. I'm sorry. No. Let's not do this. Okay, wait. Back. All right. Okay. 106. It was $265 for Section 220. Section 220 is here. It's now down to $161. Mind you, this is the stage. Okay, pay attention. This is the stage. Okay. These seats here for 220, Section 220 are down to 161. I don't know. No, sir. Let's see. Section 120 is down. This is right here. Down to, oh, come on now, stop. Down to 161 was $308. Literally knocked it down half. Okay? Literally. Let's see what else we got. So these are all Section 120. Oh, come on, stop. Section 117. Yeah, down to 161. It wasn't $300. So pretty much this entire section here has been knocked down to half. And I still wouldn't pay that much money for these guys. I'm sorry. I still wouldn't do it. I still can't pull the trigger, y'all. I still can't pull the trigger on these tickets. Let me see. So once again, this is the stage. The pit area is $883. Once again, this is for T.I., Ludacris, Big X the Plug featuring Rick Ross. The pit area is $883. Section E is $460. Section D $460. Section C, B, and A all $462 for this section here. Mind you, this is the stage. Section K is $375. Section J $375. Same for G and F. Come on, stop. No. So basically, for this, outside of this, this is basically going to close to a rack, $900. These right here, $460. This section here, $375. Now this section here is $1,300. I don't know why this is $1,300. These two sections here, $1,300. For why? For why? These sections here, $334. Once again, this is for T.I., Ludacris, Big X the Plug, and featuring Rick Ross. So this section here is $330+ dollars. Same here. Right? This is the stage. The pit is $883. These sections here are $462. These sections here, $1,300. These sections here, $330 and some change. And then you get around the corner in front, like directly in front, way back, $161. And then these way over here, $161. I don't think this thing is going to sell out. God forbid you get these sections over here, $160. And these are not for sale. Okay. God forbid this. I don't think this thing's going to sell out. I don't think it sells out. I don't think it's going to sell out. I don't think it sells out. Nope. Let's do concert tickets sold. Can we get an idea of how many have been sold? Okay. Yeah, Ludacris, T.I., Big X, Rick Ross. And listen, this is a pretty stacked lineup. This is a very good lineup. Listen, if this were 10 years ago, if this were 10, 15 years ago, yeah. But now, today's time, today's day, no. No. This is in Kentucky. I mean, you could argue that Ludacris by himself is worth it.
Four big names in rap are combining forces for the first time ever on a single stage.
Oh my God, really ads. I mean, really, Luda and T.I. by themselves, because they got just stupid amount of just stupid catalog. I mean, just hit after hit after hit. I'm talking, non-urban hits. Ross is without Drake, man. It's not. And Big X the Plug is too new. A lot of people don't even know who Big X the Plug is. Let's be honest. But this
right here in Louisville, the Crown Live in the Ville hits L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium on Saturday, October 24th. Organizers announced Ludacris, T.I., Rick Ross, and Big X the Plug will take the stage along with other rising artists. The show will only take place once in Louisville. U of L's dance team, the Lady Birds, will also perform. Tickets go on sale July 10th through Ticketmaster.
Let's see. They come in for that show, they will sell out. Have y'all seen Wayne's shows? That's Wayne. That's Wayne. I don't know. Packed house does not mean sold out. I need to see it be said sold out. And those, they have fairly amount of a good size amount of tickets left. Will it sell out if they drop more prices towards the closer it gets? Probably. But like I said, this for 10 years ago, it's a no-brainer. I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see. Where you at? Where you at? Premium, thank you for the tea and brethren. Who's more despicable, EDP or Floyd? Well, EDP, because Floyd is where Floyd's been captured. He's facing the justice, the long arm of the law. EDP because he's still out and about, still doing stuff. So, I mean, a child molester is a child molester. Is one worse than the other? They both are a danger to children. One just got caught and the other one hasn't. That's how I look at it. Okay. Luda is on the same level as Wayne and Ross and T.I. Luda on the same level as Wayne? Okay. You know what? Let's take a look. Let's put that theory to a test, shall we? You said Ludacris. Matter of fact, we'll play that game. How much revenue has Ludacris concert tour generated in 2026? Let's take a look. See. Let's take a look. See. All right. And I don't even think he's doing a real tour. He's just doing spot dates. See, he's playing individual festival sets and select dates rather than a major centralized. So he's not even on a real tour. He's just doing spot dates. So that you really can't. That's not a tour. So let's go here. As of, we'll look at another site as well to get the numbers. As of right now, highest grossing tours is according to, this is Live Nations? No. Most income. This comes from Billboard and Pollstar. Okay, from Billboard and Pollstar. Let's see where Lil Wayne and Ludacris rank. Let's look for Lil Wayne. We're looking for Lil Wayne. Ludacris. 20. Top 20. I don't see no rappers in the top 20 as of right now. We'll go to another site. Don't worry. We're going to go to another site. 2020. Okay, 2025. Okay. No, let's go this way. Let's go here. Let's see. Okay, let's go here. Nope, I don't have Facebook. I need to know. I'll look into who his booking agency is in a minute. Okay, top touring artists in 2026 as of right now with major stadium tours. Yeah, you're not going to convince me Ludacris is on the level of Wayne. Rock tours. Okay, let's do this. Wait. Who is Ludacris booking agent? He signed a UTA. He gets about $500,000 per show, and he's doing spot dates right now. He's not doing a full-blown tour. Okay, he's not doing a full-blown tour. Now let's see what Lil Wayne tour 2026. Man, okay, a little no, okay, concert sales. Let's see. Wayne's on Live Nation. This is not a fair comparison because Wayne is actually on tour and Ludacris is not. That's not a fair comparison. But if you want to make the argument that Ludacris would generate more money than Wayne on tour, that's not going to happen. There's no way. No effing way. Look at this shit. I mean, they got him working. Once again, this is not fair to compare because Ludacris is doing spot dates. Wayne is working. Spot dates cannot compare to this. This is an unfair comparison. Ludacris made it without rapping about the typical thing. He had a more comedic take. I disagree. He had a more comedic take on his content, but still the same stuff he rapped about like everybody else. He just put it in comedy. And he's on tour with 2 Chainz. Yeah, no, he's working, man. Oh, come on. So you're not gonna populate for me? You're not gonna populate? Okay, we'll go somewhere else. Oh, there, damn it. Come on. Man, he's working. This does not, you can't put this on, against Ludacris. This ain't right. This is not fair. Come on. Ludacris is doing spot dates. He's not on a full-fledged tour. And I still make the argument that Wayne would make more money on tour than Ludacris would. Yeah, this ain't fair, y'all. This ain't fair. That's not fair. So his North American dates. These are his North American dates, and then once he, at the North America, he's got to hit the international circuit. He's working. Yeah, let's not do this. Okay, wait. Then Lil Wayne. Now I need to know. Yeah, let's not do this, y'all. Okay, Wayne had a residency in Vegas. Okay. Wayne had a residency in Vegas, so that's a plus for him. Let's see if Ludacris had a residency. I don't think he did. Okay, Ludacris has never had a traditional multi-show concert residency in Las Vegas. Instead, he frequently performs individual headlining concert sets, holiday weekend club gigs, and high-profile guest appearances. This is a plus in a different way. He goes on tour when he feels like it. Well, that's a good thing. But he's never had a Vegas residency. And we put premium value on artists that are able to have residencies in Vegas. So the nod goes to Wayne. Okay? I understand if you're a Ludacris fan, but we give the nod of respect to artists that have residencies in Vegas. So let's not change the rules because Ludacris has never had one. Okay? I'm just saying, if it comes down to touring, Lil Wayne is ahead of Ludacris. Okay. 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 Yeah, he just shows up when he feels like it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. This is probably the best way to do it. Just pop up when you feel like it instead of being on the grind of a tour. But some people like being on the road. So I don't, but we're talking like accomplishments. He's never had a residency in Vegas, y'all. Okay? That says a lot. Okay? It is what it is, man. So, Wayne ahead of Luda. Okay. Let me see what we got. Oh, let me check some. Where's my internet strength? Internet strength. What is this? Nope. Oh my God, I think we back. I am so sorry, y'all. God. Oh my God, I think we. Okay, we're back. We bike. Jeezy Pete. I think somebody don't want me to say what I gotta say today. Okay, let's go here. Okay. All right. I think we're back. Should be good to go. Okay. This is crazy. Okay. We're going to go through a lot of deep dives today, courtesy of one named Eric Jackson. All right. He has pretty good spot on takes and heavily informed, good information. Okay. Blanco, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. First things first. Azaelia Banks. We got to go there first. Where's she at? She in trouble, y'all. Azaelia Banks is in trouble. Okay, I got the paperwork. Pulling it up. Okay. You ready? Let's go here. Azaelia Banks. Rapper Azaelia Banks has filed a request for a domestic violence restraining order in LA Superior Court against her former manager and record label executive Jeffrey Evan Katwinetz, alleging a years-long pattern of coercive control, surveillance, financial exploitation, and emotional abuse. According to the petition, filed on January 27, 2026, Banks alleges she and Katwinetz were involved in a prior dating relationship in addition to their professional You can't do that. You can't sleep with the manager. You can't sleep with your manager. It never ends well. He's a Jew. So sleeping with your Jew manager is not going to end well for you. Okay? Sleeping with your Jew manager is not going to end well for you. Let's continue. Involved in a prior dating relationship in addition to their professional relationship as artist and manager. She also references the parties' ongoing related civil litigation filed in 2021. In the lengthy supporting declaration, Banks argues that Katwinetz exercised coercive control over both her personal life and career for more than a decade. She alleges he simultaneously served as her manager, record label principal, and distributor while controlling her finances. This is what we call a conflict of interest. Withholding accounting information and attempting to leverage new recording agreements to maintain control over her career. She further alleges he monitored her personal relationships and blended their romantic relationship with business and financial decisions. One of the most serious allegations in the filing involves a life insurance policy Here's where we go with the infamous record labels and rappers insurance policies. Okay, it's a known fact. That's what they do. Banks alleges Quatinetz had her sign a life insurance policy on her own life while she was intoxicated during their relationship. According to the declaration, she does not know whether the policy remains active, who owns it, or who would receive any benefits. She contends that uncertainty has caused her to fear for her personal safety. Banks also alleges Quatinetz retained a private security firm to locate and profile her in 2020. According to the declaration, the investigative report compiled her address, contact information, physical description, aerial imagery of her residence, that's Google Earth probably, and other identified information in an effort to determine where she was living. Banks alleges she never authorized that investigation and says it caused her to fear she was being monitored. The filing further alleges Quatinetz publicly portrayed her negatively while privately attempting to negotiate new business arrangements and her contract extensions that would have generated additional revenue for him. Banks contends this contradictory conduct, together with the alleged financial pressure and surveillance, amounted to psychological abuse and coercive control under California's Domestic Violence Prevention Act. As part of her requested relief, Banks asks the court to issue a domestic violence restraining order, prohibit Quatinetz from contacting, harassing, following, surveilling, or communicating with her through third parties, require disclosure of any life insurance policy on her life, and order that it be canceled or transferred to her, keep her residential address confidential, allow her to appear remotely for court proceedings, order Quatinetz to remain at least 100 yards away from her home, vehicle, workplace, concerts, performances, and recording studios, enter a restraining order for up to 5 years. Now let's go to the actual paperwork. Po thing. She is 35 years old going through all this. 35 years old going through all of this. Jeffrey Evan Quatinetz. He is 65 years old. Y'all stop playing these dumbass games. Okay? Stop playing. Listen, if you're going to do the old Jewish man, I'm in the bind, Nate, then shut up. Okay? It was all good when it was going your way, when he was making moves for you. Okay? So if you're going to play this game, play it. You can't be like, nah, I quit. I'm sorry. Nah, I want to redo. No, bitch. Let the fat man on top of you. Okay? It wasn't a problem when he was on top of you, when the money was coming in. Now, when he says, hey, I need you to do this, play the game. Play the game. Let's continue. Request for domestic violence restraining order. Like, y'all play too many games with these men. Like, there's no, I can't do the Indian giver thing. No, wait, nah, change my mind. No, bitch, this is what you asked for. Coercive control, financial exploitation, blackmail, disturbing my peace. Through counsel, Quatinetz demanded I extend the contract and record new music to generate money for him. While telling the court I refused to be disposed, which was false, as I had already paid the discovery referee. He had not accounted to me or spoken to me directly in about 10 years. For over a decade. Okay. I don't feel bad for her. I don't. I'm sorry. Quatinetz had me sign a life insurance policy on my life while I was intoxicated. He gave me expensive red wine and put the policy in front of me once I was drunk, and we were cozied up. No lawyer reviewed it, and I don't believe my attorney at the time knew about it. He refuses to say whether or not it is still in force or who benefits. I don't feel bad for this chick, man. I don't. Sorry. Let's continue. Surveillance. Quatinetz hired a private security firm, Edgeworth Security, to locate and profile me, mapping my home from the air and confirming where I live. This is his own Exhibit 6. During that period, I once returned home to a wide open window. He also falsely claimed publicly that I tried to burglarize his home. No, I don't feel bad. I'm sorry. Okay, why do these people need protection? They are my close family members. Quatinetz hired a private security firm to locate and profile me. Its report, his own Exhibit 6. And case number blah blah blah, compiled addresses associated with me and my family, including a Bronx, New York address. My own address is now confidential, so my family is the most likely way to find me. I am afraid he or his agents will approach, follow, surveil, or contact them to locate me, pressure me, or use them to lure me into contact. They have no role in our disputes. People close to me have also suffered sudden serious illnesses during this case, which has deepened my fear for my family's safety. She's asking for no contact order, stay away order, order not to abuse me, my home, my job, my workplace, my vehicle, each person in subsection 8. Other, my concerts, performances, and recording studio. How far? You want them 100 yards away? Do you and the person live together? No. Do you and the person have the same workplace or go to the same school? No. Other orders, that Quetnets disclose in full any life insurance policy on my life, whether enforced, date taken out, insurer, policy number, owner, beneficiary, amount, and who pays the premium, and cancel it or make me the owner beneficiary. That Quetnets not hire, direct, or permit any investigator or third party to locate, follow, monitor, or surveil me. That my residential address and location be kept confidential. That I be permitted to appear remotely at all hearings. Child. I don't feel bad for her. I'm sorry. Extend my deadline to give notice in person. Let's see. I will need to find someone to serve him. Okay. I don't feel bad for her, man. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't. Okay. Signature. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Under the DVPA, abuse includes not only physical harm, but disturbing the peace of the other party, right? It could be a coercive control, pattern of behavior that in purpose or effect unreasonably interferes with a person's free will and personal liberty, including controlling, regulating, or monitoring the other person's finances, economic resources, movements, or communications. Here we go. For roughly a decade, Quatnet stood on every side of Banks's career and money, her manager, her label, and her distributor. Well, something in you didn't say, hey, this is a conflict of interest. Like, okay, let's continue. Retained the income owed to her, concealed the accounting, and used lowball offers conditioned on her recording new material to try to pull her back under his control. He treated her earnings and catalog as his to direct. Quatnetz, who himself is a lawyer, also competed with Banks' own attorney, Doug Davis, positioning himself over her legal and business affairs. The attached messages show him mixing the romantic relationship with control over her finances and music. When does the Sony money post? We can sell the score. The messages include Quatnetz demanding, what time is your date? I want to know his name. Reflecting monitoring of Banks' personal life. Undisclosed life insurance policy. Blah, 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 blah. Private security. I don't feel bad for this chick, man. I'm sorry. I don't. Let's go here. Wait. Okay. Quatnett's own conduct refutes any suggestion that he is the party in fear. The Edgeworth report cast Quatnetz as the frightened party who needed to investigate Banks. His own conduct is inconsistent with that framing. Quatnetz pursued and sustained a personal relationship with Banks. He sent her Valentine's Day flowers, exchanged nameplate jewelry with her, and gave her a gold bracelet, attended a New York Knicks game with her, hosted her in his own New York apartment, and had her spend hours getting ready inside his apartment before they attended the V Magazine party together on Halloween 2014. Banks regularly stayed overnight at Quatnetz's home for days at a time. Quatnetz even arranged for a cameraman to come to his apartment and film Banks inside it, including cooking in his kitchen. A person who genuinely fears another does not keep that person close, appear with her in public, bring her into his home for hours, let her stay overnight for days, or invite a camera crew to film her there. In contemporaneous emails, Quatnetz himself told Banks he loved her, replying, "I love you," to her, "I love you," under the subject line, "for my boo." See, that's why I can't feel bad. I don't feel bad when the fat Jew man is on top of you. Why you want me to feel bad for you? This is the game you wanted to play. I'm in the bind, Nate. Okay. Then play the game. This is why motherfuckers don't feel bad. Let's continue. for my boo and writing "I love you too much," which is irreconcilable with the picture of a man in fear of her. Quatnetz's later public claim that Banks had tried to burglarize his home is directly contradicted by his record, and the publication of that false accusation caused Banks substantial and lasting distress. The record shows the opposite of the report's framing. It was Quatnetz who retained a private security firm to locate Banks's home, map it from the air, and track her movements. As between the two, the party who commissioned covert surveillance of the other is the party whose conduct warrants restraint. Okay. In public, Quatnetz and those acting for him have portrayed Banks as unstable, dangerous, a drug addict, a burglar, and a stalker. Quatnetz simultaneously sought to bind Banks to a 4-year extension of the very contract at issue and to have her record new music, shoot videos, and promote the catalog to generate income for him, while offering only a small recoupable advance and treating his creative demands as approved if she did not respond within 30 days. By November 25, the extension demand relayed through counsel had grown to a 5-year extension of the license, with roughly 3 years then remaining on it. The demand shifting and escalating over time. Quatnetz also represented to the court that Banks was unwilling to be deposed, although Banks had already paid for the discovery referee for her deposition. Okay. Retaliation for the audit. We won't pay her any more money, in his own words. An email produced by Quatnetz's side in the related civil action shows Quatnetz on July 12th, 2020, weeks after Banks, through counsel, demanded an accounting, and days after the June 2020 Edgeworth surveillance report, writing from his Big 3 email address to, oh, that's Ice Cube's buddy. Oh, that's who this nigga is. Oh, that's who he is. Oh, no. Ice Cube. This is the people you got in bed with. What? Oh, no, son. Oh, no. This Ice Cube people. This Ice Cube people. This Ice Cube people, son. Oh, hell no. This is him. This is him. And you want me to feel bad for you? You want me to feel bad for you? Oh, no. Quatnetz is the founder and CEO of The Firm, a film and television production company, music management firm, and record label that he relaunched in 2015. In addition to television and film development at multiple networks and studios, the firm is currently producing 5 on-air series across multiple networks and platforms, 2 films, and is the COO of Ice Cube's Cube Vision. And y'all thought Cube was, oh, Cube clean, his hands is not dirty. Cube don't be doing all that weird shit. Oh my God. Wow. Nah, man, it's like, come on, Cube clean, man. He don't be doing okay. How else was he gonna get the Big 3 off the ground? Y'all, and people really thought that was all Cube. Like he was able to somehow negotiate licenses from the NBA because he's Ice Cube? Don't you understand? The NBA still owns these players, these ex-players. Own their name, image, likeness. Wow. This is him. He is him. Yeah, bitch. Nah, you good. Nah, bitch. No. Go back on your knees and say you sorry. Let's continue. Wow. As the CEO of the firm, Quatnetz is the steward of one of the industry's most powerful entertainment management, film and television production companies and record labels, responsible for engineering the careers of prominent figures and programming across the recording, motion picture, and television sectors. Throughout his 30-year career, Quatnetz has anticipated, defined, and contextualized market trends inclusive of generations of consumers. In doing so, he has gained a unique understanding of how the confluence of marketing, marketplace, and media invoke emotion and a call to action among a global constituent. As part of the firm, Quatnetz helps run Cube Vision, the highly successful production company formed by Ice Cube, which produced the oh my God. Wait. As part of their nearly 2-decade-long partnership, Q Vision and Quadnets have over 25 film projects in active development. Their long list of television projects include Hip Hop Squares, which airs on VH1. Quadnets produced the long-running television series Wilfred and Royal Pains. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. From 1997 to 2008, Quadnets founded and led the previous iteration of the firm, where he developed innovative campaigns for artists such as Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Backstreet Boys, Kelly Clarkson, Korn, Jennifer Lopez. The firm later entered into film and television management, representing such artists as Martin Scorsese, Leo DiCaprio, Vin Diesel, Rachel Weisz, and Cameron Diaz. Are you fucking kidding me? Quadnets earned his JD with honors at Harvard Law and holds an MA and BS at Northwestern University. Jesus Christ. Hey, she picked good. I'll say this. She picked a good one. Now play the game. Play the game. Quit your bitching. Nobody should feel sorry for this woman. Nobody should feel sorry for Azaelia Banks. He is him. Holy cow. Wow. So it was all good when he was on top of you, right? Making your career pop. It was all good when he was on top of you. Okay. Wow. Let's continue. Writing from his Big Three email address to his attorneys and accountants, in it he characterizes Banks' public plea to her fans as extortion and directs we should send her a breach letter and that we won't pay her any more money, deciding to cut off payment of money owed as punishment for Banks speaking about not being paid as coercive control of her finances and economic resources within the meaning of Family Code 6320, stated in Quadnets' own words, Exhibit 1. This pattern has destroyed Banks' emotional calm and caused severe sustained fear and distress. Banks has needed medication on and off for 10 years to deal with the ebb and flow of the stress caused by Quadnets' conduct. She is afraid to disclose where she lives and prefers to appear in all proceedings remotely. I don't feel bad for her, man. I'm sorry. I had an intimate and very close relationship. He was also my personal manager and principal of my record label. Let's go here. Exhibit A contains true and correct photographs of text messages between me and Quadnets. They show the nature of our relationship, including messages such as, "Hey boo, Jeff, I'm going to stop loving you today," and his reply, "Why are you going to stop loving me? You are so fickle," and showing him mixing our personal relationship with control over my money and music, including discussions of selling the score when the Sony money post, okay, blah, 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 blah. I don't feel bad for this bitch. I'm sorry. You went to the Super Bowl. Like, what are we talking about? Nope. And he let you, and he let you date out. And he let you have dates with other men. Oh, you bitch, I'm cool. I'm cool. Man, gave him a couple kids and it would have been set for life. Should have gave this Jew man a couple kids and you would have been set for life. You should have done what Eve did. Should have done what the Eve plan. You messed that up. You fumbled a huge bag. Should have done what Eve did. Sat down, shut your mouth, leave all that black urban slang rhetoric attitude at the door, and become a homely homemaker wife with 2 kids. Yeah, you fumbled a huge bag. Okay. I don't feel bad for this chick, man. Okay, I don't feel bad for her, y'all. Nor should you. Okay. Let me stop there. Hold up. Nobody should feel bad for this bitch. Nobody. Do not feel bad for her. Where's that X? Where's that page at? Hold up. Where'd it go? Nobody should feel bad for Azaelia Banks. Nobody. And I mean nobody. Okay. Now let's go to, do we care about the exhibits? We can go to the exhibits, yeah? Let's go to the exhibits. I mean, might as well, since we're already here. Yeah? Okay, these are the exhibits. Who cares at this point? Exhibit A, text messages. Man, you need a manicure bad. Like, why are your nails looking all, you know what? I'm good. This is Jeff. I'm all the way in Venice. I worked so hard this week. Kay, just want to lie in bed or on my deck all day. If I had to fight LA traffic, I would kill someone on the highway. I did the thing with the glass of water. It might have worked. I slept a little better. I'm going to give the water to someone to drink now. What do you want the score for? Okay, that's her response to him. Come my way and get your ring, Jeff. I'm gonna stop loving you. Oh, okay. That's him. This is him. Okay, this is him. Him and Gray. They haven't agreed yet on SB. Trying to get it done. Just woke up. Why are you gonna stop? Oh, you so fickle. I spoke to David and two. Okay. I hate Gray. Stop dyeing your hair. Color looks so bad, Jeff. Your beard is gray. Your hair doesn't match your beard. Please trust me and go gray. I promise you'll get so many bitches. Hey, okay. Uh-oh. Yes, you do. You're a Jew. Jews have major personal power. Why Jews? Because a major part of Judaism is an emphasis on knowledge. I need more personal power. You guys have major brain power. I'm assuming major or more brain power. Your parents teach you good things and put you guys in good schools. I'm really sad. Why? I haven't been taking my meds. I don't want to take them. Why? We all need to take meds. Uh-oh. I hate being dependent on those things. I'm close and have a bunch of bags. Can someone help me? Oh, no. No, stop dyeing your hair. Okay. I don't want the bitches. They just F me over. Nadine has a lopsided titty. She obviously has no respect for herself. Don't let that one ruin the rest of them. But she's a poor man's Eve Mendez. Oh, you can do way better. Oh, no. What is this? What did we... She's 35. What did we walk into? What did we walk into? She's a poor man's Eva Mendes. Okay, in a lot of pain. Uh-oh. Are you okay? I hope so. I'm so bummed. I'm not in Chicago with you. My friends there are going tonight. I want you to feel better. Are you on medicines? Yes. 3 kinds of pain. Oxycodone for pain. I get it, man. Do you have to have surgery? Hey, boo, I'm getting to really not like Doug Davis. He's phony. When does the Sony ATV money post? Hey, Jeff, did I get my text about having the guy score all of broke with expensive taste? Can we get on that ASAP? We can sell the score as well. I got plenty of brain power. Personal power is different, and my parents suck. But even so, Jews have strong bloodlines. I think I'm from a line of aliens. Anunnaki, I want a new lawyer. Anunnaki, what's that? Okay, motherfucker, you know. And to sell, what are those yellow heads angry for? Don't stop giving me advice. I thought you would laugh that I was going to make someone drink the water. I'm very sensitive. Angelica just told me to check my text. What time is your date? I want to know his name. I'm not telling you. Look at it. He lets you have boyfriend. I'm getting hit with intense pain from this. Oh, he has diverticulitis. Oh, this is bad. Oh, listen, Brock Lesnar has that. That shit will kill you. Diverticulitis will kill you. That is not good. I just took 2 pain pills and sleep. You got a sick man with money and power, and you couldn't sit down for this? Diverticulitis is extremely a dangerous condition to have. Holy cow. The inflammation of or infection of small pouches that form in the wall of the colon. This is some serious stuff. Sudden intense pain in the lower left abdomen. This is what Brock Lesnar has. Though sometimes on the right side, fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, abdominal tenderness when touched. Hospitalization with IVs, low fiber diet, or drainage of abscesses or partial removal of the colon, a colonectomy. Yo, you got a sick old Jew man with access to money and power, and you just couldn't sit down? You couldn't sit down. Wow. You just couldn't sit down. Holy cow. Oh my God, are you okay, Jeff? Are you eating the same bad stuff? I'll be okay. I didn't finish all my meds and I've still been eating like shit. Okay, so that's part of it. You're not disciplined. You're not disciplined. You're not disciplined. Okay. So you're not disciplined. So you're not taking it serious. Valentine's Day. This is back in 2015. See, once again, when he's on top of you and, you know, everything is good and is going good, okay, she's quiet. Nameplate jewelry from the relationship, Jeff pendant. Banks and Quatnets exchanged jewelry. Quatnets also gave Banks a gold bracelet. This a messy bra. I don't feel bad for this chick. Look at this at a Knicks game. I don't feel bad for her. This is messy. See, you make it bad for the rest of your kind. You make it hard for women to be a proper gold digger that's really just looking to be taken care of. They gonna do, you know, there's some gold diggers out here that would do right by the man. They just want a soft life. I can understand that. You messing up for everybody, sis. Azaelia Banks cooking for the Super Bowl in Jeff Quatness' New York apartment. You messing up for everybody, sis. What is this? Costume jewelry, Halloween 2014. Ugh, shit. Her body is trash. Ugh. Her body's trash. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Okay, let's go here. For me, can you please make sure Doug is good with this and us meeting this weekend? I know he has his way of doing this and a plan that he wants to stick, and he believes you wanted to do a bunch of meetings at the same time in NYC. I've been friends with him a long time, and it's a good for both you and me for him to feel a part of this process and not ignored. I'm not a wimp. It's just friendship is so important to me. I don't want him to think I went around him and did something wrong, and apparently he thinks I did. It would be good for both of us for him to feel part of this. I promise if I didn't think I was the perfect person and team for you, I wouldn't waste your time or mine. I just want all positivity around you and me no matter what happens. I can't lose him as a friend. Please make this right for me. I know it sounds like high school shit and I don't understand it exactly, but certainly for you to get to the top where you belong, both you and I, if we work together, will need others to feel included and part of your success. Okay. You are truly the greatest. My favorite thing about coming to NYC is getting to spend whatever. Thanks, Jeff. Now find me a boyfriend. I gotta find someone deserving of you, though. I'm picky. I'm not. I love you too much to just set you up with anyone. Oh my God, this bitch can't be. Please tell me this is stupid. Oh my God. What a dumbass. I don't feel bad for this chick. I hear you on the money. Unlike other managers or people who have worked for you before, I do not forget what you tell me or our discussions. Well, almost never. Nobody's perfect, right? You literally just finished touring 3 months ago. We have worked together for only that time. The amount of stuff that has been done and achieved in that time is humongous, as you know. I hope I spelled that right. But you get my point. The last tour didn't do as well as promoters had hoped, as you know, and festivals weren't willing to do anything until an album comes out, which we pulled off. So now we start setting it all up right. We got Coachella and starting to put dates on the books. We are building. What's important, in my opinion, is for you to become super successful so you have stable money coming for many, many years and don't ever have to worry about running out. Listen, all you had to do is just lay down and have a couple kids and you never have to worry about money ever again. You just... Why am I getting so upset? I don't understand. She a whole goofy. Like, how stupid can you be? Yo, Eve showed y'all how to do it. Leave all the urban bravado. The white man don't want to deal with all that. All that independent, strong black woman. She not, act like you can't lift a damn thing. Oh my gosh. I have made clients more money than any manager in the history of entertainment, but it takes a minute to do things right. To just go out and accept offers for small money usually ends up costing a ton of money in the long run. My style is to care about my clients, and I definitely care about you as much as anyone I've ever worked with. I only make money when you make money, so I have incentive to do it too. But I want to do it right by you and set you up for life. What the oh, y'all can't be this stupid. But then she is this stupid. I know you're Jewish, but happy Easter anyway. This is from Doug. I know things are going really not well with Jeff. I know you guys are cool and whatnot, but I really need to have a conversation with you about my current standings with Prospect Park. It seems as though I've been dropped by him. I'm very sad and very hurt. As you know, I love and adore Jeff. I'm sure lots of messages are flying around this camp because I can hear everyone talking in my sleep. I've never said anything behind anyone's back that I won't be afraid to say to their faces. I don't really know what's going on with him, but it reminds me a lot of my relationship with Dave. And I don't want to waste any time begging for Jeff's forgiveness if he's truly got his mind made up about not working with me. I absolutely love and adore Jeff, as you know. Wow. Okay. Who is so Sexy Banana? This must be her email line, right? Sexy Banana. Oh God. What you need to do is wake up and become more professional, because this isn't just your career, it's also mine. If I'm going to convince people they are wrong about you and go to the mat for you, you need to have my back. Part of this isn't your fault. I brought the Backstreet Boys back from obscurity, and then once they are huge again, they fired me over some BS commission fight on a 3-2 vote of the guys, and it's crushing to pull off the impossible and then get effed over. I feel that. When I managed Kelly Clarkson, I made her the biggest in the world, and then she fired me because, unbeknownst to me, she was in love with me. And when I told her to start working out because she had a lot of TV coming up, she took it that I was calling her fat and fired me. Oh, no. I'm a controversial manager because I always have my acts back and don't compromise them, and it gets people pissed. I need to know when people go after me because of it, they will stand by me. It takes too much emotion and effort to do this to be cast aside. I've become convinced that at some point you're going to just fire me once you are big, and I can't go through that again. Wow. This is crazy. Hey, just wanted to reach out. Who's this from? This might be from him. Okay, we'll reach out and reiterate what I called you about on Monday, that I put ethics and my artists first and foremost and never would want to take advantage of you in any way. We're also psyched about you as a person and as an artist, and it's super important to us that you know we are 100% on your side. This is why I hate managing, because it's babysitting. I've said this time and time again. Being a manager is a babysitter to grown-ass man children. The last thing we would ever want is for you to even feel unfairly treated. And I personally am super proud of the fact that I have never been accused of putting my interests ahead of my artists. I'm pretty known for actually doing the opposite. I'm very conscious of the fact that abusing artists is the norm in the entertainment biz, so I have to err on the side of caution and vigilantly avoid even the appearance of double dealing. Whether people believe it or not, influencing culture and having great creative success has always been and will always be more important to me than any financial success. It's why we have several clients we've worked with for over 15 years. I wanted to release this one single on a label we would do together solely to get it out fast, to allow you to maintain artistic control, to maximize your money, and to avoid signing an overbearing deal with an independent label while your leverage was less than it should be. I also knew I had the best team in the world and capital if I could get them on board. The head of marketing, Scott Greer, was the point person on the Beyonce album and the Pharrell project, among many others at Sony, and Steve Bartnett, in my opinion, is the best marketing label head in the world. He used to work at Def Jam. Steve Bartnett used to be at Def Jam. It was a simple one album deal, and I consistently gave into every demand made of the contract just to get it done and move forward. Because of my pre-existing record deal with Caroline and Capitol, they were able to do things others couldn't for you, and then they normally couldn't. Okay, this has nothing to do with feelings. Okay, no problem removing Nadia. We had done it 2 weeks ago when you asked them, blah, blah, blah. But why do you always have to make everything about you? I mean, for F's sake. This has nothing to do with feelings. We are in a business relationship where you consistently make decisions harmful to both our careers, financially and creatively. It's your right to do whatever you want, but I wasn't put on the planet to serve you and be your order taker. I'm trying to run a business and be successful too. My life isn't just about you, sorry, and neither are Angelica's, Jeremy's. We have lives too, as hard as it is for you to manage. You want to be disrespectful and dismissive of us, fine. But then don't expect us to go above and beyond what we obligated to do any more than so are you. Wow. So this is weird. Dropped me mid-movie as I was concerned about the nudity and wanted him there. Oh. So you're supposed to do a movie and they wanted a nude scene in there. Okay. Let's continue. Doug Azaelia. As you know, we think the world of Azalea's talent. Unfortunately, we are at a crossroads where we are just banging our heads against the wall and feel our time and money is being wasted by an artist who is determined to fail despite their talent. Before Coachella, I expressed concerns about not being able to succeed if things continue, and was subsequently promised by Azaelia in word and in writing that things would be different, including abstaining from Twitter, being willing to listen to advice, and treating people at our company with respect, among several other promises. Jeez. I don't feel bad for this broad. No, neither should you. What a dumbass. What a dummy. Wow. Okay. But this is him. He is him. Okay. I mean, she picked good, but you're supposed to lay down and give him a couple kids and just ride off into the sunset. He has diverticulitis, lady. Like, he ain't got time to be fighting with you. You know, he got intestinal issues. What a dummy. Wow. Okay, let's go here. All right. This is Sean Astin. Lord of the Rings, bad management. This is a horrible, horrible story. Let's go.
Didn't get paid very well for Lord of the Rings. I actually got paid.
There was bitterness.
No, not bitterness. Just like, oh, we have to sell our house now. What are you going to do? Like, literally.
Geez.
Yeah,
you had to sell your house?
I had to sell my house afterwards. What happened was the day we...
Oh, come on. Oh, my internet's janky. Okay, I'm going to find it somewhere else. Hold up. I'll go somewhere else. Yeah, I'll find it somewhere else. Okay. Oh, back to Twitter again. Damn it.
Is opening up about the financial reality behind one of Hollywood's most iconic film franchises. The actor revealed that he earned $250,000 for all 3 Lord of the Rings movies.
It went on to generate $2 billion. The Lord of the Rings franchise has generated $2 billion. This is insane.
So modest that he had to sell his home while filming because he couldn't keep up with his mortgage. Astin explained that becoming globally recognized didn't immediately translate into financial security, creating a surprising gap between his fame and his income. He later said the situation improved through other work and additional compensation tied to the franchise, and today he considers himself financially comfortable. Looking ahead, Astin joked that if he ever returns to Middle-earth, he'd absolutely negotiate a much better contract.
That's your... Oh my God. Your team did that to you, man. I don't even know what to say. Like, your team did that. Your management team did that. That's horrible.
Sean Astin's shockingly
let me see.
Sunday. Just small, very comfortable. 150,000.
Nope. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's your management's fault, but then that's your fault too for not being really diligent on the shit. Okay, wait. What is this? Okay, let's go here. Log in. Not now. Okay, not now. Let me find it. Wait a minute, hold on. Man, my IG is a mess. My IG is a whole damn mess. It's disgusting. My IG is disgusting. Okay, I can't find it. Alright, I'm over it. I can't find it. He's really getting a lot of weight. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. All right. Let's move on. Yeah, he should I hope he fired his whole team. Because that's disgusting. That series went on to generate $2 billion. $2 billion. You didn't get no back end points. That's insane. But he's officially the new SAG-AFTRA president, though. So we'll see how that turns out for him. Nonetheless, all right, let's keep it going. What are my topics again? Where is it? Drink. Okay, rappers. Oh yeah, rappers insurance. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's piggyback off Azaelia Banks. Rappers insurance. All right. Once again, it's an old industry trick. Nobody should be surprised. Let's go here. Nobody should be surprised. All labels do it. Everybody calm down.
Yeah, thanks, guys. The case centers on life insurance policies taken out on 3 people, including a Baton Rouge man who, get this, ended up dead months after investigators say numerous policies were opened in his name. A federal jury has convicted Calvin Kemp of Gonzalez and Chavez Robillard of Baton Rouge on charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and aggravated identity theft in a case tied to life insurance policies totaling just over $4 million. Prosecutors say the 2 men used the personal information of 3 victims to apply for life and accidental death coverage through multiple insurance providers. According to the indictment, Kemp often represented to the insurance companies that he was a ghostwriter for rap artists or was the CEO of a record label, seeking insurance policies on behalf of the music artists whom he represented. There were 9 policies in all. Court records say they opened a bank account under the name Vision Investment Group and used it to pay for the policy premiums. One of the victims was DeQuarz Smith, killed in Baton Rouge in December of 2022. His mother, Latina Maxey, who spoke to us 2 years ago about her son's death.
I was very upset. Really, I was planning a Christmas party and everything, and my sister called and said a detective was trying to get in touch with me. That's when she said, well, I'm sorry to tell you that we found your son. He had been shot 3 times, 1 behind the ear, 1 in the neck, And then she said the final blow was in the temple.
BRPD says Smith's homicide investigation is what helped expose the insurance scheme. In a statement, the lead investigator says detectives interviewed a witness who provided information about Kemp and Robillard and learned an insurance policy had been secured on Smith months before his death. BRPD says as they followed up, they discovered multiple policies, and because of the money involved, the case was submitted to the FBI. To date, no one has been charged in Smith's death, and we're told these federal convictions are expected to be the furthest this case goes in court.
Wow.
Nearly 4 years later, Maxie says she's still living with the loss.
It hurts me very. I have pictures of my son. I just tell him how sorry I am every day that this had to happen. You trusted the wrong people. I'm sorry. That's all I can say every day is I'm really sorry.
Kemp now faces up to 26 years in federal prison. Robillard faces up to 24 years. Sentencing has not been set.
So shit. Yeah, Gucci made it. Yeah. Gucci and Kaor. Yeah. Say them names. Yeah. This person said, I can't believe this is one of my classmates. I'm still in shock. I never would have thought. Wow. Kodak Black. Yeah. Meek Mill done had somebody on their label. Yeah. They all have. It's part of their ritual. Jeez, that's terrible. Okay, let's keep it going. Do we go down a Michael Jackson rabbit hole again? I think we're going back down the Michael Jackson rabbit hole again. Because why not? Okay, let's go. Okay. This is deep. Y'all pay attention. All right, on this day in 93, Evan Chandler and David Schwartz are recorded discussing Michael Jackson. All right, pay attention. Ready? Let's go. Okay. So, according to the transcript, full discussion focuses on Chandler's concerns about Michael's relationship with Jordan Chandler, his request for a meeting with those involved, and his intention to pursue legal action if that meeting did not occur. All right, let's go.
He's going to be humiliated beyond belief. He will not believe it. He will not believe what's going to happen to him.
Wow.
Beyond his worst nightmares. Sell one more record.
This attorney I found, I interviewed several, and I picked the nastiest son of a bitch I could find. Once I make that phone call, this guy is just going to destroy everybody in sight. Any devious, nasty, cruel way that he can do it. And I've given him full authority to do that. It'll be a massacre if I don't get what
Okay, that's the boy's daddy saying, I found the nastiest attorney I could find. Schwartz and those guys were like, he's going to be humiliated. So this is a crazy chess game that they played on Michael. Now, say what you want about them people, but they try to protect him. To a certain extent.
If I go through with this, I win big time.
I will get everything I want, and they will be destroyed forever. They will be destroyed. June is going to lose Jordy. She will have no right to ever see him again. Yeah. That's a fact, Dave. That's what's going to happen. Michael's career will be over. Does that help Jordy? Michael's career will be over. And does that help Jordy? It's irrelevant to me.
The daddy said it's irrelevant. As long as you lose. Wow. Nasty work.
This man is going to be humiliated.
Nasty work. They saw it coming. They saw the play. Once again, this to me that confirms Michael's autistic because human interaction, social cues, like he missed all that. He didn't understand none of that shit. That's what confirms to me that he was autistic. Like social cues are important. If you don't learn those, you're going to be in a world of hurt moving as you get older. Let's continue again. More Michael rabbit holeness. All right, old audio services of Michael Jackson's brothers trolling him about Billie Jean. Let's go.
That's Billie Jean. Michael, Billie Jean's here for you, man.
Oh, God.
Oh, Billie Jean. She's a sweet old thing.
Please, don't
Michael,
do that.
Michael,
Don't
mind.
We had a great dinner.
You and Billie Jean? You and Billie Jean?
Who's that?
That's Billie Jean. Michael, Billie Jean's here for you, man.
That's funny. Who is the real Billie Jean? Okay, that's funny. That was funny. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Okay, is this a serious rabbit hole? I think this is a serious one. Let me see. Okay, this is a serious one. Okay, you ready? Okay, let's go. The mystery of the briefcase. Okay. All right. Deconstructing the 1993 and 2003 evidence, the fingerprint contamination, and tabloid fabrications. You ready? Let's go. Okay. Seized in November of 2003 from Jackson's master bedroom, the briefcase contained documents and registered commercially available adult magazines. He had the Hustler Barely Legal August 2003 issue. He had the Playboy multiple issues, January, September, and October 2003. He had the Penthouse July, August 2003 issue. He had the Sherry September 2003 issue. He had the High Society December 2003 issue. He had Visions of Fantasy, Sam and Jose's Black Starlet volume. He had Bound and Gagged, Specialized Bondage magazine. He had the Leg Show, Foot and Leg Fetish magazine. Oh no, wait. He had the Marquee International Fetish and Bondage magazine. That's not the bad part. He had the Barely Legal Homo. He had Men, Bodybuilding, and Male Nude magazines. He had Freshman, VHS relating to some of the journals listed above. Oh, no. There's a delay, I can tell. There's a delay because y'all's comments are not catching up to what I'm saying. Yeah. It had. Now the Bound and Gagged, I can let that go. But hey, the foot and leg fetish, I'll let that go too. Who doesn't enjoy a nice pair of feet? But the Barely Legal Homos and the bodybuilding and male nude mags is a bit telling. Is a bit telling. Let's continue. Everybody like what they like. But let's continue. The prosecution claimed the accuser handled the Hustler magazines as part of the grooming. However, the forensic expert testimonies completely dismantled this theory. No usable fingerprints from Jackson or the accuser were found on the briefcase exterior or the handle. So he clearly was somebody placed it there. 12 fingerprints belonging exclusively to Jackson were found on the Playboy and Visions of Fantasy. The contamination, defense attorney Thomas Mazzaro proved that the accuser's fingerprints on the Hustler magazine were left after it was seized, when prosecutors physically showed it to him during closed-door grand jury hearings before the forensic team analyzed it. So no fingerprints were found on the gay stuff, just on the girly stuff. Okay, let's continue. If what I'm saying makes sense. All right. The widely discussed books, The Boys, a photographic essay, and Boys Will Be Boys, were not in the 2003 briefcase. They were seized 10 years earlier in 93. LA police found them stored inside a locked filing cabinet in Jackson's master bedroom. These were commercially published, legally owned art and photography essays from the 1960s and 70s focused on naturalistic and classical youth photography. Okay. During the 2005 trial, the handwritten notes inside Boys Will Be Boys were read aloud to the jury, exposing Jackson's true thoughts. It says, look at the true spirit of happiness and joy on the faces of these boys. This is the spirit of childhood, a life I never had and will always dream of. This is the life I want for my children. Okay. The book, The Boy, featured a dedication signed by a fan named Rhonda dating back to 1983. Okay. Artificial censorship. Newspapers printed pages of The Boy, adding heavy black bars or pixelated blur blocks over completely normal photos of children swimming or running. This psychologically led readers to believe the material was obscene. Media outlets continuously fabricated stories of secret underground rooms filled with contraband, which official 2005 court videos proved were standard locked household closets and cabinets. Nasty work. In 2009, the FBI declassified its entire 10-year investigation file on Michael Jackson. The government's computers forensics teams officially documented that after reviewing every hard drive, computer, file, and book, 0 traces of illegal material or illicit activity were ever found. This man didn't see it coming. They used this man's kindness for weakness. He was a walking lick. I hate to say it. Once again, lack of social awareness and social cues. Okay? He didn't see it coming. And that's sad. Okay. What is this? What story is this? Oh, did y'all see this story here? Did y'all see this story here? Child. This is crazy. Wait, that's not it. A dad who tortured his 7-year-old son with a taser if he dropped from push-up position during the family dinners. Did they give this man too much time? Okay, here we go. Oh, come on. Okay, ready? An Oregon father will spend decades behind bars for torturing his 7-year-old son with a taser as a form of discipline, including when the child failed to hold a push-up position during the family dinner. Brandon Brett Rogers, 45, was sentenced Friday to more than 45 years in prison after a jury convicted him of nearly 60 charges, including 9 counts of second-degree assault, 11 counts of first-degree criminal mistreatment, and dozens of other charges related to child abuse. Police in Springfield began investigating in September 2024 after receiving a report of a child abuse involving a 7-year-old boy who had multiple injuries all over his body. During their investigation, they learned that Rogers and the boy's mother, Heather Black, physically abused their son on 2 reported occasions by tasing him as a form of discipline. However, authorities soon uncovered hours of surveillance footage from the home that revealed a more heinous environment, where Rogers and Black physically abused their son multiple times a day for multiple days in a row using a taser and other weapons. Rogers and Black also menaced their 4-year-old daughter on multiple occasions with the taser. One example of the abuse that Zenashe shared involving the boy being told to stay in a push-up position while adult family members ate dinner. When he starts to drop, Dad tases him and yells at him. No adult did anything about it at the time, and it was shocking to me. The judge described Rogers' actions as deliberately cruelty and frankly torture that was carried out by someone who should have been giving his son solace and strength. Rebecca Ansine blamed his actions on a very, very violent childhood, incurred daily beatings from his father that resulted in hospitalization. The 2 children have since been adopted. Okay. That sweet baby boy was tortured and ganged up on by both you and Heather. You treated a boy who thought of you as a dad like an animal, a subhuman, worse than a prisoner in jail. Total sentence, 45 years and 10 months. His attorney says he plans to appeal. Black pleaded guilty last year to assault and criminal mistreatment and is serving a 15-year sentence. Okay. Yeah, man. For real. Yeah. Whoever comes across his path is going to get every bit of that. Okay. What is this? Okay, real quick. Let's go back to Spider-Man premiere. I'm so sick of this broad. I'm sorry. I can't stand to see her. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her. I'm tired.
That's pretty.
I'm tired of Zendaya. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of this woman.
You got the spider cookie. No way. Just for you.
I'm tired of this woman. I'm sorry. Please go away. I gotta wait one more movie in Dune for this broad to go away for a very long time. Please go away. Go the fuck away. I'm so tired of her. So tired of her. Like, for real. Like, even Margot Robbie was not this overexposed. But let's go here. I'm getting tired of him too. I'm getting tired
She's
of
wearing
Long
Ashi Studio. You know, it's kind of more of an abstract way to present the spider. You know, in our minds, like this metamorphosis of, you know, this woman into this thing. And the jury is Boucheron. She's wearing Ashi Studio.
I'm tired of both of them. Okay? Okay. I'm tired of both of them. Please, both of them need to go away. For real. For real. The Krishan case, until somebody is arrested, I mean, they can do DNA tests through family members. So for her to whack the guy would make no sense. You just need a family member to confirm paternity. So I don't know. Until somebody is arrested, I personally don't care. You know. But yes, please go the hell away for a very long time. I'm ugh. What is this? Okay, I don't care about that. What is this? And yes, for those, if you're gonna go see Spider-Man, yes, Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. She's the villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So they're gonna go slowly start to go with a younger X-Men cast. Stephen Lacey dropped the ball on this one badly. Boy, did he ever drop the ball. Like on the red carpet too. Like, you had one job, sir. He had one job. But let's go take a listen for those that didn't catch it. It's all over the internet, you know.
In the film you're aware of, and without spoiling anything, who is your favorite, or who are you most excited to see?
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Jean. I like Jean.
Okay.
She's the villain, but like, there's a reason to her madness.
Okay. Is that a spoiler?
I like her. I like her character. I like her character. I don't know why.
I love that.
I like her
Thank you
character.
so much for talking with us.
Thanks for having me.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good.
Bro, you had one job. You had one job. One effing job. Oh, I know I want to keep it strictly music and TV and stuff, but do I want to cover this story? Okay, I'll cover this one story and then we're gonna get to the music part. Okay, let's go here. It's all over the internet. It's all over the internet.
Tonight, a Miami-based Secret Service agent now has a mugshot and was pulled from his elite law enforcement job, accused of unleashing days of severe beatings in an alleged fraternity hazing ritual linked to an alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi that left two unnamed victims so bloodied that extensive skin grafts and critical emergency care were required. Today in a Florida court,
it's charging you with attempted manslaughter with a deadly weapon.
29-year-old Marquez Pinder appeared by video, ordered to have no contact with victims or the fraternity.
Do you understand the stay-away order, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Pinder and two other men face felony charges. According to an arrest warrant, the first of several April hazing incidents happened at Pinder's Miami apartment. An affidavit states 2 victims were struck repeatedly on their buttocks with paddles and canes. One man bled through his underwear and pants. The lacerations so severe that substantial portions of skin and soft tissue was surgically removed. One victim was intubated to prevent further physical deterioration and death. The national fraternity said Kappa Alpha Psi is a non-hazing fraternity and said the suspects are not active or financial members. The Secret Service says Pinder has been an agent for fewer than 3 years and was removed from duty on leave. The judge ordered house arrest, and he's due back in court in September. Tonight, a Miami...
Terrible. It's always your own people. I know. But Sly, if you send them to a PWI, worse can happen. Okay, sure. Fair enough, I guess. Send your kids to a HBCU and this won't happen. How about that? There you go. Okay, now let's get to the music. Courtesy of Eric Jackson. Shout out to Eric Jackson. Please don't hit me, bro. Please don't hit me, bro. Let's go here. Okay. Eric Jackson. Don't hit me, bro. Don't hit me. We're here now. We're down this rabbit hole. We are down this rabbit hole. Let's go.
On May 30th, Jay-Z walked back onto a stage for the first time in about 6 years. And the first thing that he did was go after his enemies, Drake, Nicki, one by one in a 4-minute freestyle with no beat. The internet called it a rap beef and started scoring the bars, but I read it like a filing. And when you read it like a filing, it stops being a beef, becomes a war between 2 ownership empires. And the king who threw the first punch is the one who's losing. This is day 332, so let's get into it. First, the thing that Jay's fans keep saying about me, I want to address. So we get this out of the way up front. Okay, they've decided that I'm on Drake's payroll. So let me be precise. I've never met Drake. I've never spoken to him. I've never been comped for a hat or a verse or a dollar. And every piece of OVO that I own, I bought myself at Yorkdale, like everyone else in the city. So here's my actual bias though. I'm from the 6. Drake made Toronto feel like it belonged on the map. And if you didn't grow up in Toronto, you don't really know what that's worth. So when the pylon came about 1.5 years ago, to me, it didn't sit right. That's my conflict. Now, listen to the rest, knowing all that. So both of these guys reached for the exact same 3 words. Drake said it first on Iceman. The jig is up. 2 weeks later, Jay said it right back to him from the stage. When the 2 biggest artists alive grabbed the identical line to bury each other, the question isn't who said it better. It's whose jig is actually up. And
what the hell? Oh my God.
Here's the key. The fight isn't about bars.
Okay, hold up. Let me do something. Because this is really starting to irk me. Let me free up some. Hold on, y'all. Let me free up some RAM. Let me free up some RAM. Applications. Where's my disk sweeper at? Where you at? File. Oh, nope. Sweeper. There we go. Okay, let's sweep it. Hold on, y'all. I'm just gonna free up some RAM. That's it. That's all. Add to the dock. Yes, access. Give it access. Yes. All right, a couple minutes, y'all. A couple minutes. that's not it. Oh, he's still calculating. Oh, come on, hurry up. Okay, let me try and see if it won't jump around as much. This fucking Tahoe update, y'all. Anybody's got a MacBook? You recently installed the Tahoe update. You know what I'm going through right now. Still calculating. We don't have time for all that. Still calculating. We don't have time for all that. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna do something else. Hold up. I'm almost done. Almost done. Where you at? Applications. Where's that file at? Okay, move that to trash. Move that to trash. Okay, I think I should be good to go. My bad, y'all. Okay. Empty trash. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, let's go.
Okay, go read Jay's lines at Drake. Not one of them is about rapping. They're about publishing, about contracts worded, quote, in perpetuity, about being a worker instead of being an owner. So Jay's whole case is one sentence: I own and you don't. That's the battle they're having. Everything else is theater. And to know who wins it, you have to do the one thing that almost nobody covering this does. You have to read the money. So I want to give a quick credit, because it's owed, to a pair of guys who run a show called Due Dilly. They did the forensic work on the financial history here. They pulled the actual acquisition documents. They read the past. So I'm going to read the future, because these two weren't always enemies, Drake and Jay. They were the mentor and the heir. In 2010, Jay hopped on Light Up off Drake's debut. That was the cosign that told the whole industry that this kid is next. And in 2013, on Pound Cake, great track, Jay handed Drake 2 verses, let him keep the song. Drake called him out loud an incredible mentor. So this didn't start as a rivalry. It started as a coronation. So what broke it? In 2015, this is the moment that the whole war turns on. Jay was betting his entire next act on Tidal, an artist-owned streaming service built on one radical idea that the biggest stars would own the platform instead of working for a corporation. And it lived and it died on whether the biggest artist actually showed up on it. So Drake, at the time, was the biggest of them all. Still is. He was supposed to be one of the owners, and Jay needed him. But 2 days before launch, Drake walked. He signed with Apple Music instead, in a deal put together by an executive named Larry Jackson.
This we all remember.
At the exact moment, Tidal needed a champion.
Wait. And Larry Jackson is hella cool with who? Kanye West. But let's continue.
Most important artist in the world got pulled to the other side. The heir choice was made. He chose the corporation over the crown. And the kings don't forget choices like that. So whatever else that 2026 freestyle was, it was a man collecting a debt that was 11 years old. Now here's the number that tells you exactly who Jay-Z is. When he built Tidal, he didn't build it. He bought it, a Swedish company called Aspiro, through a London shell called Project Panther Bidco, directed by Juan Perez, the husband of the woman who now runs Rock Nation. So that company was worth about $37 million on the open market. It was losing close to $10 million a year. Jay paid $56 million for it, roughly 1.5 times what it was worth. So he knowingly paid a premium of nearly $20 million for a business that was bleeding cash for one reason only: to own his distribution and pull his catalog off of everyone else's platform. So that's not a man who values ownership as a slogan. That's a man who put a price on ownership and paid what nobody else would. So this entire war is a fight over exactly that conviction. And here's what most people miss. Jay lost the streaming war. Tidal never got big. In 2021, he sold 80% of it to Jack Dorsey's Square for around $297 million. He took a board seat at Block. He's still there collecting money. So read that fast and it's a retreat. Read it like a filing and it's a pivot, because he'd already seen that he couldn't beat Apple Music and Spotify on size. So he built something else. In 2019, Equity Distribution, which is a distribution company for artists who own their masters. And in 2024, he folded it into Rock Nation Distribution. So Jay stopped trying to own the platform and he started owning the rails. He built the machine that sells other artists their independence. So Jay owns Drake's a worker. That's not the truth though. That's Jay's sales pitch. The truth is that Jay-Z spent a decade turning himself into an ownership empire. And here's the part of the diss track that gets hid completely. The man who pulled Drake to Apple Music back in 2015, Larry Jackson, he went and built the competitor. In 2023, he launches a company called Gamma, funded with roughly $1 billion by Todd Bowley's Eldridge, backed by Apple, built on the exact same gospel that Jay was preaching, helping artists keep ownership of their work. And Drake told us that this was coming 9 years ago. On Lil Wayne's Family Feud in 2017, Drake rapped, "Somebody get Larry Jackson on the phone," in the same breath as, "I need some ownership." So the exit he described a decade ago is the company that Jackson runs right now. So this is an owner versus worker. It's Rock Nation Distribution versus Gamma. Two ownership empires built on the same promise, fighting over the same artists. Jay isn't defending the throne against a worker. He's defending it against a rival house built by the man he lost Drake to. That's the jig. So here's my call, and it's fundamentals, not feeling, okay? The battle that decides this is ownership.
Yeah, I'm not.
And it's a battle
that, bro. I'm not.
That Drake holds
I'm not
the leverage in, believe it or not. That's my opinion. He's the biggest streaming artist alive. His Universal deal came up for a renegotiation last year. He's been signaling his exit for a while, and the escape hatch is already built and waiting. This was never a contest that Drake could lose to a sharper verse. It's a cap table move. And on the cap table, Drake has what Jay doesn't. He's got youth, he's got an expiring deal, and he's got a market that can't function without him, and a rival empire holding the door open. The one advantage that Jay holds is the exact thing Drake's best positioned to take. He's too smart, he's too well positioned to leave it sitting there. So I'll keep the caveats honest here, okay? No deal is confirmed yet. Whatever the ownership is real, or whether it's a nice contract, it gets settled by the paperwork and not the announcement. And there's one person who can flip this whole board in an afternoon, believe it or not, Nicki Minaj. So for 2 years, she's read this machine, I think more precisely than anyone. She names the title money. She names the gatekeeping. And then she pulls back to something careful. One person that she says in a powerful position who didn't like her. So people think that that restraint means that she's out of things to say. But I read it a different way. I think that's somebody who knows exactly how the wiring runs. And she's choosing to say less than she knows. So when she decides it's time to speak, I think it's not going to be venting. She'll be testifying. So which brings us back to that stage in Philadelphia. A secure king doesn't climb up in front of a crowd to remind everyone that he's the king. He's just a king, okay? Jay, off the stage for 6 years, walked back on to do exactly that. He named his rivals one by one, right off the bat. That's the tell. And look, I'll say this plainly, Jay-Z, he's one of the great business builders that we've ever seen in the music business. He once paid nearly $20 million over market just to prove that ownership was worth it. And he was right. He might have just taught that lesson too well to the wrong heir. Drake doesn't need to beat him on wax. He beats him on the balance sheet by owning. And that's the day that the jig is really up. So watch for a press release.
Okay.
Not a
Okay, I like this guy. I like what he's saying. We're gonna continue. There's more. I mean, we're in this rabbit hole, y'all. So where did I go with this one? Okay, let's go here.
One record label produced 3 of the biggest rappers who ever lived. Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki Minaj. And here's the thing that nobody says out loud. All 3 of them walked out of that house owning the least. The most talented label in the history of the music business. And I got robbed on ownership every single time. That's not bad luck. That's a system. So I'm going to walk through it this morning. I read careers the way I read a 10K. I skip the hype. I skip the streaming numbers. I go straight to the ownership footnotes because that is where the truth is hiding usually. And when you read Young Money, like a filing, one line jumps off the page. 3 legends, 0 of them left owning their own work outright. So today is day 333. This is the human face of the ownership thesis. Start at the top, because the curse usually starts at the top. Lil Wayne founded Young Money in 2005. It was an imprint under Cash Money, the label built by Birdman and his brother Slim. Wayne was the crown jewel and the talent scout, and he signed Drake in 2009, Nicki in 2009. He's the reason the other 2 are even in this conversation. And now read the footnote. In 2015, Wayne sued Cash Money for $51 million. He said the label was withholding money and sitting on his album, the Carter VA finished record. One of the best rappers alive, locked inside a contract for years. And it dragged on until 2018. And then they settled. The terms are private, so I'm not going to throw a number at you. But here is what is documented. Universal, not Cash Money, signed that settlement check. Wayne got free. The album finally came out. So say that structure back to yourself slowly. The man who founded the house had to sue his way out of the house just to release his own music. That is the tragedy right there. And I want to be clear. This isn't a villain story. This is a structure story. Wayne was the best in the world at the craft and a stranger to the paperwork because the system he came up in was built to keep the artist a genius on the mic and a tourist on the contract. He is the patriarch. He taught everybody under that roof how to make a hit. Nobody ever let him learn how to own one. You can't teach what you were never allowed to learn. Now on to Drake, most commercially successful artist the house ever produced. Same problem, but bigger scale, because Drake came up through Young Money and Cash Money. His early catalog got tied to that structure. The masters for his defining run, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, Views. The albums that made him the biggest artist on the planet are not his. When Universal bought the Cash Money catalog, those masters went with it. The songs that built the empire are owned by the distributor and not the artist. Now Drake did a thing only a generational earner can do. He bought his way toward the front. From 2021 on, his newer music runs through his own OVO setup with Republic. And in 2022, he signed a...
Republic is under Universal. So just in case people... Universal, Republic is under Universal. Nonetheless, let's continue. It started off as a rock label, Republic Records. It used to be a lot of rock acts early on. Then it kind of slowly started signing urban acts. But let's continue.
Fresh Universal deal. Universal, it was reported to be around $400 million. So this isn't a guy who got robbed and he stayed down. This is a guy with enough leverage to renegotiate the curse. But look at what that actually means though, okay? The most powerful artist of his generation still had to spend real money and real leverage just to claw toward owning his own future. And his own past, it's still sitting on someone else's balance sheet. Years ago, Drake rapped on Wayne's own record. Somebody get Larry Jackson on the phone. I need some ownership if we press and go. People heard a flex, but I heard the whole family's wound said out loud on a track. And Larry Jackson comes back at the end of the story. Third pillar, Nicki Minaj, and her story rhymes with the other 2. In 2015, Jay-Z launched Tidal. A group of artists came on as equity holders of it, each reportedly gifted around 3% of the platform, which Jay-Z had just acquired for $56 million. Nicki was one of them. And then in 2021, Tidal sold a majority stake to Jack Dorsey Square, which is now Block, in a deal reported around $297 million. So you do the rough math on 3% of that, and you're somewhere near $9 million. Nicki has said publicly she wasn't made whole. By her account, she was offered about $1 million for her share. And in 2025, she said she was owed something like 100 to 200 million and called on Jay-Z to settle it. Now I have to be straight here, okay? Because this is where being fair matters. There is a real dispute about whether the paperwork was ever finished. Steve Stout has said Nicki never signed the Tidal documents, and the corporate filings show the holding company behind Tidal was controlled by Jay-Z's entity and not split equally among the artists on that famous stage in 2015. So this isn't a clean case of a number owed and withheld. It's contested. But the contest is the point, okay? Broken promise or unsigned document, either way, the artist ends up on the wrong side of the ownership line again. And the equity got described at a press conference and never showed up in her account. Same house, same footnote, third time. And by the way, none of this is a shot at Jay-Z. You got to give the guy his due. He's the rare artist who fought his way onto the ownership side of the table, and he built a real business there, and Tidal was a genuine swing at handing artists a piece of the pipe. That's exactly why this one stings. The one platform built to close the gap is a place where an artist says the gap stayed open. This is the part that people miss. The Drake and the Jay-Z tension is not really about bars. It's about two answers to the same question that has haunted this genre from day one. Who owns the work and who controls the platform? When Wayne, a New Orleans native, got passed over for the Super Bowl 54 halftime show in his own city in favor of Kendrick, Wayne said it broke me. To his credit, he later gave Kendrick his blessing, and that grace is real. But the machinery underneath is the same machinery from every other chapter. That halftime show is run by Roc Nation. The ownership of the moment, one more time, sat with someone other than the artist who felt he earned it. And that's why this is bigger than any two men. Young Money is the human face of the whole ownership thesis. Three of the most gifted people to ever touch this form, and all three learned the same lesson the hard way. Fame is not ownership. Hits are not equity. Being the best in the world doesn't mean you own the work. So here is where it finally turns, and it turns forward. Remember Larry Jackson, former Apple music executive, the guy Drake name-checked in 2017. In 2023, he co-founded a music company called Gamma, built explicitly around artists keeping ownership of what they make, backed by serious money, reported to be around $1 billion from Todd Bowley and Apple. The entire pitch, the one thing that this house never had, structure the deal so the artist keeps the asset. Drake's relationship with Jackson goes back to his Apple Music days. Does Drake become the first member of the house to fully own his own output through Gamma or otherwise? It's an open question. So I'm not going to tell you it's a done deal, because it's not. But it would be the right ending. The prince, having bought his way toward the front, turns around and builds his door that the teacher never got to walk through. So here's the whole thing in one line. Young Money is not a story about bad luck. It's a case study in a system that took the three most talented artists it ever touched and made sure each one came out owning the least. Wayne taught them to make hits and never got to teach them to own because no one let him.
Okay. I hate nothing but heaters, man. Nothing but heat. Nothing but heat. We are here. Let's see. Okay, let's go here.
You know, everybody can name the face of Roc Nation, but almost nobody can name the two people who actually run it. And they're married. So let me walk you through it. This is day 336, same method every day. I stop reading the press release. I start reading the paperwork, the org chart, signatures, the filings, because the person on the cover of the company is almost never the person who's signing and off on the wires. And at Roc Nation, once you read it that way, there are two names that jump off the page. Neither one is Jay-Z. So here is the thing about any company that's built around a star like Jay-Z. The star is real. The star is definitely valuable. Star is the cultural gravity that makes the phone ring. I'm not taking a single thing away from Jay or Beyonce. That's the opposite of that. But a face is the one asset, and a machine is a different asset. They're almost never the same person. You read the headline, you get the face. But you read the filings, you get the machine. So I want to introduce you to the machine of Roc Nation. The CEO that you were never told about, Desiree Perez, CEO of Roc Nation since 2019. Before that, she was a COO and a co-founder of the company.
I mean, we know her history, y'all. I mean, a bunch of us got strikes reporting on this broad. So this is for newbies and casual listeners. But we, for those that have gotten strikes because we've talked about her, we know who she is and how far her arm reaches. But let's continue. I'll let it rock.
Way back in 2008. And here is what I love from a forensic standpoint. Her story doesn't start in a boardroom. It starts in New York nightlife. Cuban immigrant parents, raised in the Bronx, came up running clubs for about 15 years, And in 1996, she booked a still up-and-coming Jay-Z at one of her nightclubs. That is the origin point, not a label meeting, a booking. She was the operator before he was an icon. And think about what nightlife actually is. It's cash, security, licensing, city officials, liability, thin margins. One of the few businesses harder to run cleanly than music itself. So when she became the closer, the person who turns an idea into an executed deal, that's not a surprise. That's exactly the resume you would build for the job. And the Emmy proves it. So here are 2 data points for you. One, in 2019, Billboard named her Executive of the Year.
Yeah.
2, and this one reframes everything, Rock Nation co-produces the Super Bowl halftime show with the NFL, one of the biggest broadcasts on the planet. And in 2022, that show became the first halftime.
Hey, shit, Wendy Day really can't say nothing because all her people's dying around her. Everybody she came up with is dropping dead. Make of it what you will. She was doing a podcast thing for a minute. I don't know what happened. Make of it what you will. Let's go.
Show ever to win the Emmy for Outstanding Variety Special. And one of the executive producers holding the statue was Desiree Perez. So separate the 2 jobs. On Super Bowl Sunday, the artist is on the stage. That is one kind of power, and it's real. But the executive producer credit, the one the television industry hands its top award to, went to the operator. 2 different kinds of power. And the operator is the one holding the trophy for actually running the thing. All right. So now let's talk about the director in the footnotes. The husband. This is where it goes from interesting to undeniable here. Juan Perez, co-owner and president of the 4040 Club, the sports lounge launched with Carter back in 2003. Some people know. Here's the part that nobody knows. In 2015, when Rock Nation's founder wanted to buy his own streaming service, the deal didn't run through an artist. It ran through a London registered acquisition company called Project Panther Bidco, which bid roughly $56 million for a public company called Aspiro. Aspiro owned Tidal. The bid closed after more than 90% of the shareholders accepted. And among the directors of that acquisition vehicle, Juan Perez. Read that with a governance eye. The biggest acquisition in the company's history ran through a corporate entity, not the artist personally. And the operator's name is in its governance. In deal work, the name on the entity is the name on the paperwork. That was not the face. That was the machine. All right, so the pattern is the point of this. One example is an anecdote. What makes it a thesis is that it keeps happening. The halftime Emmy, Perez. The Tidal acquisition vehicle, Perez. And the newest swing, the plan to put a Caesars casino in Times Square, a roughly $5.4 billion bid with SL Green, Caesars, and Live Nation. And that one missed. It was voted down in 2025. But watch who Rock Nation put on the regulatory filing, where you have to disclose who actually stands behind the money. 6 names. Sean Carter is one of them. Desiree Perez is the one who runs the thing it's attached to. That's the tell. When a regulator demands to know the truth about who is behind the money, the operator's name is in the document. So there's a reason why it's built this way. This is to complement the artist, and it's not to knock them. This is what a well-built company looks like. The most valuable thing a founder artist can do is separate the 2 functions cleanly. The face generates the gravity, and the operators who convert that gravity into executed deals. Most artists never build that second half. They stay the face of the company with no operator behind it, and the value just leaks out through every deal. They were too busy or too famous to close. Rock Nation built the second half, and that's the whole point. Okay, but there's a thread here that I'm leaving hanging. I'm gonna leave this one hanging on purpose. Desiree Perez didn't walk a straight line to that corner office. There's a past that most people don't know. A chapter
We know.
that makes her rise far more improbable than the published bio suggests. It's real and it's documented, and it reframes everything I just told you. That one gets its own episode. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
All right, I'll leave it there. We all know. She's told on some drug dealers, became a confidential informant. I mean, we know all that. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Okay. Last 2 videos, then we can get up out of here. Okay, let's go here.
Future had the #2 song in the country in May with Drake. Now it's July, and last Sunday, he sat in the box with 2 guys who were at war with Drake. His audience is smaller now than it was a month ago. And he didn't invite Drake to be on his new album on 22 tracks. I think Future just made the worst trade of 2026, and I can show it to you in the filings. Today is day 338. Start now with what Drake gave Future, because the size of the mistake depends on the size of the gift. So on May 15th, that's the day that Iceman comes out. Track 5 is Ran to Atlanta. Future's on the feature right beside Molly Santana. It goes to number 2 on the Hot 100. 5 days later, Future posts about it. His words, "Me and Iceman, back by popular demand." That song was a hit. It made...
I'm definitely going to switch to Safari after today. So, yeah. All right, let's go.
Molly Santana. Okay? The chart position and the statement come from the facts. Future's biggest hook of the year was standing right next to Drake. So now count forward 9 weeks, not 9 years, 9 weeks. Last Sunday, July 19th, at the World Cup final at MetLife, he was sitting in the same box, proven through multiple photos with Pharrell and Rocky A$AP and Rihanna. So the seating chart's not disputed. Drake was in a totally separate suite with a bunch of other people. So sitting with Pharrell is particularly noteworthy, since a week before that, Pharrell got up on stage on the last night of Jay-Z's 3 nights at Yankee Stadium and said, that, in a veiled shot, Drake had poked the bear, meaning Jay-Z.
Indeed.
Everybody heard that. That's been reported multiple times. And there's obviously been a lot of beefs between Pharrell and Drake over the years. And 7 days later, Future is sitting next to Pharrell in Pharrell's box at the biggest event on earth. So I have a real problem with that. Ack noticed this a few days ago, had a problem with it, had questions about it. It's not a good look. Look at what Future put his name on. Go back to 2024 now. March of that year, a song called Like That, Future Metro Boomin's album. Kendrick Lamar on the verse. That's the record that opened the whole war between the two. It wasn't a subliminal. It was a song on Future's album. Then on April 12th, 2024, Future and Metro put out the second half of that project, We Still Don't Trust You. And on a track called Show of Hands, A$AP Rocky delivers a verse that basically every outlet covering it read as an aimed at Drake. Rocky didn't claim it outright at the time, but the reading was near universal. So if you just think about that structure for a second, Rocky's shot at Drake was hosted on Future's album. Future gave him the room, gave him the mic. So when Future showed up on Iceman this May, that wasn't a guest verse. That was a defection. And look at what he defected onto. Iceman's not a neutral record. Obviously, there were multiple songs that took shots at Rocky. On Ran to Atlanta itself, the song Future is standing on, Drake has a line about sharing women he had already been with, widely heard as a shot at Rocky. Drake spends a whole song on a man he never names on track 8, asking why that man's partner would not promote his record, which I'm not going to go into. There were shots at Kendrick. There were shots at how Drake was actually aligned with Atlanta, totally inverting kind of the argument that Kendrick put out a couple of years ago. So to be showing up at MetLife with next to Rocky and Pharrell, the album, obviously, Iceman goes at Jay-Z too, talks about the jig is up and so forth. And obviously that evoked a reaction from Jay-Z at the end of May with his whole a cappella tirade at the beginning of the show, where he tried to take back the jig is up claim from Drake and went at Drake, Nicki, and Kanye. So this is the part that I just can't get past. Pick a side, Future, fine. Everybody, realigns. But 9 weeks later, after you just had the biggest hit of the year for you with Drake, that's not a good look on Future. It's not a good look either on Pharrell or Rocky, who are sitting next to them. Maybe they think it's a win, but it becomes a business story. Future put out an album too on July 10th with 22 tracks, and Drake is not featured on any of those 22 tracks. He put it out the night one of Jay-Z's stand at Yankee Stadium. So the fact that 9 weeks later, again, after you have the #2 song in the country and you don't invite the guy who invited you on to have that hit onto your album, it didn't make sense. I can't tell you exactly what went on behind closed doors between Drake and Future, but it is weird. It is very weird. And Metro Boomin is not on the album either. Not a feature, not a production credit, nowhere across all 22 tracks. So the man who built the room in the 2024 Rupture is gone from the credits entirely. He dropped Metro, he took the Drake feature, and then he did not return it. So those are moves that are filed away. The audience numbers, though, for Future are interesting. I pulled Chartmetric stats this morning. In late June, he had 55.7 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and that number was already falling. The album came out on July 10th. The slide stopped for about 6 days, topped out on July 17th, and now it's falling again. We're down to 53 million for Future. So that's lower than what existed before the album release, just 10 days after the album release. So his monthly numbers got a bump from Drake and from Ran to Atlanta, and now they're on the decline. You can pull up the Spotify daily charts. You can look at the U.S. top.
Everybody knows that. Ross's album Suffering. Everybody's suffering. The Drake stimulus package is real, ongoing. You're either at this point either friend or foe. Let me see where else we going. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, let's go here.
All right, before anything else, I need to tell you something about this channel. The comment section on the YouTube channel here might be the smartest in finance, and I'm definitely not flattering you. Half of my best investigations start as something that one of you drops as a comment under the video, and this one today is the biggest yet. Your comments about Drake, the money, the deal, the debt rumors sent me down the rabbit hole the last couple of days, and somewhere between a sworn court declaration and a sale date, I found the answer.
Oh, hold on. Oh my God. I'm going to retune this whole thing when I get off tonight. Okay, let's go.
To a question that almost nobody is even asking yet. Where Drake goes when his Universal deal is done. Not the beef and not the memes, but the actual end game sitting in the paperwork. At the end of this video, I'm going to stand.
My bad.
Scoreboard, graded like every call I make, win or lose. So if you're watching this on X or Instagram, this is the one to come to the YouTube channel for because...
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, my bad. Come on.
Because that is where the full work lives. So subscribe when you're there, click the bell, and when you're done watching, drop your read in the comment. The comment asked me if Drake is broke. He's not, and I'm going to show you why in about 90 seconds. The real question is one of the documents shows this, whether Drake is leaving Universal, UMG, the major label system entirely after almost 2 decades. It's the same method as always, not the vibes, but the paperwork. Yesterday we looked at a casino filing. Today it's a sworn declaration filed in federal court by the most powerful man in the music business. And what it accidentally tells us about the biggest artist of his generation. Nobody announced anything, but nobody has to, because structures announce themselves in the paperwork. So start with the meme first, because killing it is how we can find the real story. There's a meme that says Drake took $400 million from Universal, and he's now in debt, working it off forever, like a slave. Here's what the documents say. The $400 million figure comes from a Variety story in May 2022, quoting one anonymous insider calling it LeBron-sized, the current deal. Terms have never been disclosed, but in August 2025, in the middle of the defamation litigation, Universal CEO Sir Lucian Grange filed a sworn declaration in federal court in New York, and in it he describes, his words, the purchase and ownership of the bulk of Drake's recording catalog, and the purchase of his music publishing rights. So he said purchase in those documents, ownership, not advance, not loan. When you sell somebody a house, you don't owe them the house money back. The meme calls Drake a debtor. Universal's own CEO, though, under oath, calls him a seller. And a seller at that reported scale is not broke. So that's 90 seconds. The meme is dead. Now watch what the same sentence, though, tells us about Drake's future. Because bulk is Grange's word. And bulk is not all. The reporting around the deal says Drake kept ownership of his newer masters, the recent releases, which come out through his own OVO Sound imprint, under what industry people describe as a licensing agreement. Nobody outside the parties has actually seen the paperwork, so nobody can draw the exact line, including me. But if you take a step back and you look at the shape of what he did, you can tell, because the shape is the tell. He sold the old catalog. He kept his new one. Sold the past, kept the future. That's not the structure of a man who's planning to stay in the major label system. That's the structure of a man converting his history into cash while building his next chapter on land that he owns. So if you were designing an exit from a record label on paper, this is exactly what it would look like. Monetize everything that they control anyway, retain everything created from here forward, and wind down the delivery obligations, and look at when he sold it. Because the timing is a second tell. It was 2022. So that was the absolute peak of the catalog gold rush, when money was cheap and catalogs traded at the highest multiples that the industry had ever paid. Justin Bieber sold his catalog rights into that same window, reportedly around $200 million. The multiples compressed hard after interest rates rose after 2022. It was before the Kendrick War, before the biggest cultural repricing of Drake's brand in his career. He sold his catalog at peak multiples, peak reputation before the risk showed up. And you can call that luck, but looking at the rest of the structure, I don't think it was luck on Drake's part. I think somebody in that camp is very good at knowing what to own and when to stop owning it. Now, the natural question comes, if the catalog is such a good asset, why would he sell it at all? And would Universal ever sell it back? So those are two different answers, but it's the same logic. UMG, I don't think we'll ever sell it back because UMG is an operator, not a fund. When Taylor Swift got her masters back in 2025, she bought them from Shamrock, a private investment firm. And funds need exits to show their investors. Universal is the exit. Catalogs are the entire business model, which means that Drake's old music lives at UMG permanently, in perpetuity, and everyone involved knows it. And that permanence is exactly why the sale tells you about the exit. There's nothing left at UMG for Drake to go back for. They own his past outright now, so they no longer need his future to monetize his past. He owns his future outright, so he builds nothing by staying. Both sides' reason to renew is gone. Read that sentence again because it's the whole video. Both sides' reason to renew is gone from that deposition. Now add the behavior on top of the structure. Drake sued UMG for defamation over Not Like Us in January 2025. Federal judge dismissed it in October, ruling diss lyrics are non-actionable opinion. He appealed. The briefs went in this spring. An oral argument has been requested, but no date has been set. So the appeal is live right now. In the middle of all that, in May, he released his triple album, Iceman, and its companions through OVO Sound and Republic Records. Republic is Universal. He's suing Universal in federal court, and he's delivering albums through Universal in the same 60 days. So people read that as, chaos. They read it as a contract instead. You don't sue a partner that you plan to renew with. You sue a counterparty that you are done with while you work off what the paper still requires. So whether the triple drop finished his delivery obligations is pure speculation, and I'm not going to pretend to know. But 3 albums in one night is what emptying the vault looks like, and litigation plus delivery is what the last years of a deal look like when the relationship has no future. I made this exact argument the week Iceman dropped back in May. The album was not a comeback. It was an exit filing. That's what I wrote on my Substack. And Grange's declaration, the sworn one that we started with, had already told the court in 2025 what was transferred underneath it. So if he leaves, what does he actually have? What does Drake have? This is where the broke meme completely falls apart. And I pulled the data myself. Okay, so there is 3 years of Drake's Spotify monthly listener data that we can pull from Chartmetric. And through the biggest beef loss in rap history, through a dismissed lawsuit, through the catalog sale itself, this river never once dropped below 70 million people a month. It spiked to 100 million after the triple album dropped. Right now it runs at about 91 million. So more than 125 billion Spotify streams, the most of any rapper ever, top 5 global artist in 2024. The old chunk of that river now flows to Universal because they bought it. They profit from it, but the man himself still commands the attention. And the new music on masters that he reportedly owns tours that gross in the hundreds of millions through Live Nation. OVO, the clothing company, which no label owns a piece of. The Nocta line at Nike, sponsorship deals reported to be among the largest in entertainment. The old catalog was the pension, and he cashed that out at the top in 2022. The person is now the business. And an artist who owns his new masters and commands 91 million monthly listeners doesn't need a record label. He needs exactly 2 things: distribution and services. So everything up to this sentence in this video has been about documents, okay? But now here's the read. Clearly labeled as my read, and I'm putting it on the record with a date after this. When Drake's obligations to Universal run out, whenever that is, he doesn't sign with another major. There's no version of the majors that offers him anything that he doesn't.
Yeah, it's just at this point, it's just Sony and Warner, and Universal is pretty much the top dog. So, yeah, I mean, he becomes his own walking, talking,
doesn't already have. The next deal, I think, is an artist services deal. Distribution, no ownership. And that model lines up.
Cut his own deals with Spotify, Apple. He can be his own go-to guy for all of the DSPs, and they just come directly to him, and he go directly to them. No middleman. He is just strictly direct to consumer. Yeah, pretty much.
Up with Gamma, Larry Jackson's company. They were built to do this. It's worth remembering that the Apple exclusives era of Drake's career ran directly through Larry Jackson. And it's not even, or it could not even be a partner at all, and OVO becomes the whole stack. But either way, the shape is the same. The biggest artist of the streaming era walks out of the major label system, owning everything that he makes, and the system that built superstars for 70 years loses its flagship customer. I'm stamping that prediction today, and when the announcement comes, whenever it comes, this video will be the receipt. And if I
tend to agree. I tend to agree. Is there anything else that we need to go over? Okay, let's go here. I'm really going to get up out of here for real.
All right, 2 anonymous websites went up accusing a music executive of running a fraud. Here's the single fact that tells you almost everything about them. Those websites were registered 5 seconds apart. It was the same account and the same registrar, the same minute, one at 10:55 and 52 seconds, the other at 57. Two independent whistleblower sites born 5 seconds apart, and hundreds of accounts that pushed them across social media, all created months earlier, back in December, and they were left dormant. And then they fired their links in a single 12-minute window. That's not a leak. A leak dribbles out. This launched on a schedule, 48 hours after Bloomberg ran a flattering profile of the man it targets. His name is Larry Jackson, no relation. So the real question was never whether the accusations are true. It's who built a dormant bot army in December and points it at one executive the day after his good press. Larry Jackson just filed suit to make them say their names and to see why someone wants his company, Gamma, dead. You have to understand who he is, who he stood next to for 10 years, and what a company like Gamma is worth right now. So this is day 342. The registry records and the court filing, not the rumors. And for the record, before anyone asks, I don't have any relationship with Gamma. I don't have stake in any of this, and nobody's paying me a dime for my analysis. I just read the public documents, and everything I'm about to show you, you could pull yourself if you want to independently verify any of this. So let's start with the man, Larry Jackson. He's a Clive Davis protege. He came up under Clive as a teenager who talked his way onto the radio at KMEL in San Francisco, and he turned into one of the most decorated A&R executives of his generation. He produced Whitney Houston, the I Look to Love You. He worked on Jennifer Hudson's Grammy-winning debut. He becomes EVP of A&R at Interscope under Jimmy Iovine, and his first signing there is Lana Del Rey. Then Apple buys Beats in 2014, and Jackson becomes the global creative director of Apple Music. Billboard 40 Under 40, the Power 100, the whole thing. That's the chair where he stops being an A&R.
I want to skip ahead. I mean, you should already know who this guy is. Once again, Kanye has him on speed dial.
Day one, they buy a distribution platform called Vidia and build on it. And the idea is a direct shot at the major labels. For 100 years, the major label deal has been, we make you a star, and in exchange, we own your masters forever. Gamma inverted it. Gamma gives an artist major label muscle, the capital, the marketing, the global distribution, but lets the artist keep their masters. The trades call it an inside-out major.
Let's see who's all signed to Gamma. Let's go there. Okay, currently as of right now, Usher, Snoop Dogg, Mariah Carey, Kanye, Rick Ross, Sexy Red, French Montana, and Rema. Wait, ain't this the same Gamma Records people were accusing? See, now y'all can't have it both ways. Remember everybody was mad at Gamma for pushing Sexy Red? We're not even 2 years from that. People see how people want to pick and choose who they like? That's interesting. That's interesting. Right. Sexy Red's a plant. She's an industry plant. That's why they're pushing her, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. Interesting. So Miffum, Deep Noon, Valdez Judas, Merlin Durham, John Van Loon, Dreadnought, King Sosa, Nick at Timmy, Melothello. Who? Who? Yeah, they were the same ones accusing Gamma Records of pushing Sexy Red and how she was an industry plant. So we're not mad now? So we no longer mad at Sexy Red and her being an industry plant? Yes or no? Man, she kept running all this and all appearance, and she's not a bad looking woman, just Jesus. Yeah, she's not a bad looking woman. Just I would X all this shit out. I would remove the piercings. I would take all that shit off. You can have all this, but all this up here, it gotta go. Gotta go. Yeah, she's not ugly. But anywho, it's the same Gamma Records, video after video. Sexy Red's an industry plant. She signed to Gamma Records. Okay. Just so we're understanding. Okay.
It's backed by Apple and Todd Bowley's Eldridge with a film and TV tie to A24. So the long-term goal isn't to be a label, it's to be the company artists go to when they figured out that that ownership is the whole game. And honestly, given who's funding it, Gamma is almost certainly built to eventually sell itself. The same way that it tells its artists to think. A guy like Todd Bowley wants a return on his investment. Mm-hmm. And the number everyone repeats wrong. You hear $1 billion Gamma. That billion is Eldridge's committed capital, money available to deploy, not a valuation. The valuation on the record is $400 million, which was set in February of 2024 when Alpha Wave, Rick Gerson's firm, led a $100 million round. And the work is real.
Okay, so what makes her an industry plant? I guess that's my next question. Fatal J, what's happening? Yeah, this guy's sharp. You're sharp. Well, what makes an industry plant? What's an industry plant? Why is she an industry plant? What makes her an industry plant? I need to know. Give me y'all's. I want to see how y'all see it. Why is Sexy Red an industry plant? Because why?
Usher's Coming Home came out through Gamma around his Super Bowl moment. It distributes Snoop's Death Row catalog. Rick Ross, Sexy Red. In February of this year, Rolling Stone reported Northwest signed to Gamma. That's not a company doing deals, not a company dying. Apple and Eldridge do not fund a phantom. And here's the tell that beats any argument. A company that's actually collapsing does not file a well-lawyered federal defamation suit to defend its name. It goes quiet, it disappears, and Gamma did the opposite. Which brings me back to the move that matters the most, and the one that tells you exactly why Gamma has enemies, okay? Gamma distributed Ye's album, Bully, released through YZY, and Gamma on March 28th of this year, it debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Now think about what that took, because after Ye's 2022 anti-Semitic statements, the corporate world dropped him all at once. Adidas killed a Yeezy deal that was worth roughly $2 billion a year, about 10% of the entire brand's revenue at the time. Think about that. Gap, CAA, and the Balenciaga followed. Forbes cut his net worth estimate from $2 billion to $400 million.
Yeah.
Every blue chip corridor in business closed to Ye. But here's the thing. The headlines fused together and got wrong. The corporations dropped him, but Kanye's audience didn't. That $2 billion hit was a balance sheet event, but it wasn't an audience event. And the data pulls them apart. 16 months after Adidas walked in February of 2024, Ye put out Vultures 1 as an independent, no major label behind him, and it didn't just debut number 1. That week, he became the first independent artist in history to be the single most streamed act on Spotify on Earth, passing Taylor Swift. And after every corporate door had closed, so today he sits at around 69 million monthly Spotify listeners right now as I record this. The 23rd most of any artist alive, ahead of Kendrick Lamar, as well as ahead of Jay-Z's 47 million. And he can still fill a stadium, a reported 118,000 in Istanbul just in this past May. He told the crowd it was a world record. It wasn't, and I'm not going to repeat a number that isn't true, but it was obviously a massive show. So here's the real significance, and it's the whole reason I...
Okay, so who has the world record? Now we got to go look. Now we got to go looking. Okay. World record. Oh, God. Wait. Wait. The largest single concert attendance on record. Estimated 4.2 million people achieved by Rod Stewart. The same Rod Stewart we just saw last week on a damn oxygen tank at the Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro on New Year's Eve in 1994. Holy cow. It was a free concert. Holy cow. That's insane. Okay, Rod Stewart holds the record for highest attendance, drawing over 3.5 million attendees. Wow. Gaga holds the female attendance record with an audience estimated between 2.1 and 2.5 million. Jeezy Peach. That's crazy. The man we literally just saw on an oxygen tank. On an oxygen tank, y'all. Oxygen tank. This man had to sit down and breathe. Okay.
Think that Gamma matters. Institutional capital re-entered a corridor it had collectively walked out of. Gamma didn't back a canceled man. It backed an artist the boardroom abandoned, and the audience never did, which is exactly the bet a company that believes ownership and audience outlast corporate approval is built to make. That's an asset. It's also exactly the kind of thing that makes you a target. Now, why is Gamma the perfect landing spot for the biggest fish of all, Drake? Okay, we talked about this a couple of days ago. For that, you have to understand something a lot of you have asked me in the comment section. How does Universal own Drake's old music in the first place? Here's the mechanism. Drake never owned those early masters. Take Care, Views, Scorpion. Those
I don't know why anybody would think that, but come on.
Boss, under oath. Purchase, ownership, not a loan. So here's the board. Universal owns Drake's past outright, and Universal never sells a catalog back because Universal isn't a fund that buys to exit. It's the operator that catalogs exit to. And when Taylor Swift got her masters, she bought them from a private fund, Shamrock, because funds sell and Universal doesn't. But everything Drake has made since Certified Lover Boy, he owns himself through OVO and Republic. So read what that does to the incentives now. They, Universal, own his past, so they don't need his future to monetize it.
Okay, let me look real quick. I'm just, bear with me. Okay, so whatever she did with Timberland got sold. Oh, which covered her first 6 albums. Okay. Now I do remember she did sign a huge publishing deal a while back. Missy Elliott's publishing. Was it? I think it was with Universal, right? And Missy Elliott publishing deal. I believe it was Universal. This was years ago, right? Legacy Publishing. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's Legacy Publishing. Let me put it behind a paywall. Okay, never mind. All right, last couple of minutes, I'm out of here.
He owns his future, so he builds nothing by staying. Both sides' reason to renew is gone. So when Drake's Universal obligations run out, and maybe they're done already, he's the most valuable near-free agent in music, and he is not re-signing to a major. I think he's going to a services and distribution home, where he keeps everything that he makes. I called that back on day 340. You can find it on the YouTube channel. And I'll say it again here. His next home is services or self-owned, not a major. And the single best fit example of that, run by the executive who's had Drake's back since 2015, is Gamma. Nothing has been announced, obviously. I'm just telling you where the board points based on the receipts. And there's also a rumor it already has quietly. It's one that gets repeated often in the comment section here, that the entire Drake Gamma conversation, that Drake secretly owns a piece of Gamma. People call it shadow equity. So let me hold it to the same standard that I hold everything else. There is no filing confirming that. There's no cap table. There's no receipt that I can point to say that's right. It traces to one source. Joe Budden floated it on his show back in April of 2024. And here's the only thing that gives it any air. Asked about it directly, Larry Jackson has never confirmed it, and he's never denied it either. He pivots to how valuable.
Okay, so for those that are asking, what does this man look like? This is the guy. He is a brother. This is the guy. This is the guy Kanye has on speed dial. All right. It's the same guy that, let y'all tell it, push an industry plant. I guess. I hear what you're saying. Okay, let's continue.
Valuable Drake's catalog is when he's asked. So it's unproven, undenied. That's a rumor from a credible industry voice, but it's not a fact, and definitely not something off of an anonymous website. Which brings us all the way back to that anonymous website. I want to explore this a little bit more. Look at the two sides. On one side, you've got Larry Jackson, Ike Yusuf, Todd Bowley, Rick Gerson, Apple, named people, real balance sheets, real reputations. And on the other hand, you've got 100 John Does, no author, sources that are all anonymous, insiders.
Okay,
and
let's speed this up.
That nobody can find who owns a domain. Someone will say, no, those are two different hosts, so maybe they're two different people. But no, the 5-second co-registration under one registrar settles authorship. The split hosting is just belt and suspenders, 2 cows, privacy shield. Pirate Bay grade hosting, untraceable crypto. Sites spun up by an AI tool in a single day, pushed by a bot army with names like Lily 1893505 and Henka 486027.
You talking about who you talking about? Shit. I mean, his son's been running everything. The daddy's just, the son runs everything. The son does it all the day to day. So, I mean, yeah, it's gonna stay in their clutches, unless they sell Universal. Now, remember, Universal has been sold before. Remember, it was under Vivendi. It used to be Vivendi Universal. And then the Brofmans used to own Universal. So it's a long history, y'all. Wait a minute, man. So Edgar Bronfman Jr. and his dad used to own Universal. It was under Vivendi. It was a huge wine conglomerate, and they bought it, and Edgar Bronfman was running the shit. Edgar Bronfman. Yeah. This is the former owner of Universal. But back then it was called Vivendi Universal, right? And then they sold it off to the daddy, and the son runs it now. But this who used to run Universal, okay? And at one point he was thinking about buying Paramount, okay? So it's in the family. But this is back in 2024. Yeah, he was at one point wanted to buy Paramount, but then Ellison's came in and made a bigger offer. Okay, so it is what it is.
Random strings, 0 real followers. That is a professional anonymity operation, which is exactly why Gamma can't just find these people. It needs a court to help unlock it. So on March 26, 2026, Gamma files in New York State Supreme Court a defamation, trade libel, unfair competition against Does 1 through 100. The whole point is the subpoena. 2 Cows holds the real account behind both domains.
Okay, and I don't care about the bot part. I'm over that. But once again, how long do I expect them to hold on to Universal? Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if it gets sold again. This is when he gets sworn in. He gets knighted. Sir Lucian Ring, he got knighted. But like I said, how long they decide to hold on to Universal? Who knows? They may sell it off for profit. You know, same question we were asking when Bronfman had it. How long are they going to keep it? Or are they going to keep it, you know, for a good long while? They don't care about these people's masters and shit. It's product to them. It's shit to be sold, to make money off of and sold. They're not trying to keep this shit for 10, 15, 20 years. If once it becomes profitable and they can make some money, they're going to sell it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up selling Universal to somebody else, maybe the Saudis. I don't know. So it is what it is, man. All right. All right, that's all I got. 2 hours and some change. I got to play with my laptop and get her in tip-top shape and cut out some of this bloat so she can function better and not be all wonky for next time. So I do apologize for that. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through, per usual. We'll do this again tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow, Wednesday. Ooh, I gotta work. I have to do an early stream. Yeah, I gotta do an early stream. So all right, I'll be on to early tomorrow. Other than that, all right, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night.
One of the ops, rates, the catch no takes, the human